They kind of have an idea. Tesla especially.
Yeah.
They know exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
And the camera's recording, dude. I
And
mean,
the camera's recording.
we get all the data.
You know, which is good, actually. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't give a shit when they say, oh, the big brother's watching you. Well, good, because if I'm doing something stupid, they let me know what's up.
Yeah,
You know?
they can improve upon it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Opposites Unite podcast.
where we discuss real estate and lifestyle topics,
Break barriers
build connections.
and find common ground.
Let's unite.
Hello, everyone. Today on the podcast, we have my good friend Raffi and C. Mario Jaramillo, our attorney friend here. And Raffi is owner of R2 Racing here in Castaic.
R2 Motorsports.
Boom. Okay. I stand corrected. I love it. I love it. Well, now you know. Now you know how to Google
Now
it.
you know, right? It's R2 Motorsports.
Yeah.
Racing. Yeah.
Both of these guys I've known for 15, 20 years.
Well enough to know the names of their businesses.
Yeah, very closely and dearly. And know how to use Google to find it.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I know where it is, man.
Just Google R2 Motorsports, you'll find me. It's all good to
There
know.
you go, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So, like, today on the podcast, we're going to switch it up. I'm normally a real estate talker, but today we're going to talk about cars, all right? Our conversation is all about, Raffi, your business is routed primarily around European exotic cars, and not so much only like that, but like mainly, right? Like that's kind of the fun part of it.
So we started with a lot of exotics and European cars, but now we're getting into every other car. We do a lot of Japanese imports. We can get into a lot of Corvette stuff. My favorite cars are now Corvettes.
You don't have to glaze me, but it's not a bad car, right?
It's not a bad car.
Yeah.
No, so we do a lot of European, but we domestic and Asian. We also specialize in.
Well, I think Mario picked up a Corvette ZR1, and it's just released, right? How long has that car been out? 2-3 months?
No, it's been out a little bit longer. Well,
4 or 5.
delivery started around October, so
Okay.
a little bit sooner
So we're
than
in
that
December.
for the 2025. Yes, so a little bit earlier than 20. But the concept, the car itself, started making its rounds, like the pre-production versions, earlier this year, and right now it's the top of the food chain, for GM. I mean, for their Corvette line. And so currently, it's the ZR1, at least the one that I have, is the fastest rear-wheel production car ever made to date. And it's just knocks it out of the park. I mean, Raffi knows this from driving it, the few mods that we did to it and stuff like that. And it could also really be a daily driver too, which is cool, which is crazy. But of course, you want to put too many miles on it, but you want to enjoy it as well, right? So
He's already got 4,000 miles
Yeah.
on the car.
Yeah.
Wow,
How old is
that's
it?
a lot.
October.
October.
Yeah.
4,000.
3
I'm
months, 4,000?
Yeah, but I'm going to put it in the rotation now. Well, one of the reasons why is that, with the Tesla was, out of commission for a little bit. I'm getting it back today. And then the truck is more primarily for, longer trips and stuff like that. But I'll start putting the ZR1 in the rotation again, because I switch off on the cars, enjoy them around town, that kind of stuff. And then long distance will be the Tesla, towing, hauling, long family trips, the truck. And then around town, cars and coffee. Really enjoying the cars and coffee circuit now. With meeting a lot of cool people, talking about the car and enjoying sharing the car with other people. It's about literally almost as fun as driving it. Seriously. And I assume Raffi could attest to this too, especially with the cars that he's had during while he's been a hobbyist in this, and which are impressive. His GT3 RS, right? Was it a
regular GT3?
Regular GT3, but
Yeah.
incredible, beautiful vehicle. His McLaren before that, and
That's
then
fun.
and then now I think he's getting a Bugatti.
Yes, that's the next one.
Yes.
Yep. We'll see when that will come
Chiron
out.
or?
It's just going to be the 1/8 scales, the small ones.
Yeah, it's a Temu one. It's called Fugatti.
Yeah, it's not coming from Amazon.
But
gonna-
it's fun though, right? I mean, you do get to run into cars that are.
No, Cars and Coffee is awesome because you get to meet awesome people. They're pretty much, they think like you because they love cars.
Yeah.
And then the funny part is that they're not just customers; they become friends, and we get to hang out, do other activities with because you're like-minded, and then maybe go into business with, but so on and so forth. So it's a great thing, Cars and Coffee.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people knock on Cars and Coffee where they say, "Oh, you just got a car that's just like Cars and Coffee car."
Like you go to show off or whatever. It's not the case. It's to appreciate, not show off.
Yeah, you're also showing off something that a lot of people will love to see and can't get.
Yeah.
So you could get there, look at it. Like Mario's cool because he'll let you sit in the car and see exactly what's going on with it.
I see him like let kids in the car, dude, and they're like in there, and they're like,
Yeah, no, that's the
Besides
part when I
themselves,
see
right?
like a parent come up and go, "Hey, can little Johnny sit in the car?" Check it out. I was that little Johnny once.
We all were.
We all were, and I would dream like back in my day, it was a Testarossa. I still remember to this day hanging out at Newport Beach, Balboa Pier, whatever, Balboa Island, which was a place to hang out back in the '80s. And this one guy, I mean, obviously, he did well for himself back then, but he had a beautiful Testarossa, similar color to mine. And I was like, one day. Well, now. Here it's not a Ferrari, but and the reason why it's not a Ferrari is just that, I mean, GM just knocked it out of the park with that car. So again, just to lay out on the intros, I'm a hobbyist. I love cars. I love high-level cars. I like having the fastest cars out there. We both have a Plaid, so that thing's incredible too. And Raffi's worked on that as well. Raffi's worked on the truck. The truck, I just, it's funny because I used to hate Tesla until I bought a Tesla, and then I used to not understand why people always had a truck until I got a truck. Now it's like people need a truck and they need an EV and they need another like supercar.
But he has all the best, like Tesla, the Plaid, the best out there.
Yeah.
Chevy, the ZR1, best out there. The truck, was it
F250 trimmer.
He's the best out there. It's like,
Lifted.
damn, all the cars look
Yeah.
amazing.
And again, but part of it is like, and it's not, I just like that. And especially as I get older, we've had this conversation numerous times, I'm 56, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. And it gets to a point sometime. I remember my uncle who recently passed away. I remember when he got his Corvette, like his dream was to get a Corvette. And he got his Corvette later in life, much later in life, probably pushing late 60s. And then next thing, he had it for like a year to 2 years. And then, due to the bout of diabetes that he'd been struggling with, he couldn't drive the Vet anymore, and he had to sell it. So for what? So if you have the chance to do it, and again, my family has what they need. We're very blessed in that respect. So I'm not taking away from the kids or from my wife or anything like that. So I enjoy cars. So I enjoy getting them, buying them, playing with them, so to speak. I mean, I'm not a hands-on guy like you guys are. I know you guys are very, get underneath the hood and be able to, work the vehicle and know I know the specs, but I just enjoy the aesthetic aspect of it, and I enjoy driving it, and I enjoy the feel.
I would say I used to be that way. I don't know that I can do it so much more. I'm out of practice, but yeah, I would love to believe that I can.
I've seen it. You can. I've seen the way you
can if you want to.
Yeah.
You're in a stage where it's like, someone else do it.
You know what? With the Plaid, I I take it to the dealer, dude.
There's nothing to do with the Plaid.
Nothing
What
to
are you
do
gonna
with it. There's nothing to do.
That's probably
What
why,
are you gonna
right?
do? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing to do.
You could change.
Plug
you
it
can't
in.
even change the tire. We could plug it in. Wiper blades. You could do the wiper blades.
Yeah.
Cabin filter?
change. Yeah, cabin filter.
So here at Tesla, we worked on a couple of Teslas actually, handful, minus Mario's. One more thing about Mario's cars, besides they're being awesome, they're also all of them are modified.
Yeah.
So they're all pretty much, it's like his personality, right? That's why I feel like when you have a nice car like that, it's your personality. And you want to put something into it where, this is what I am. And they all look amazing. But on going back to the electric world is that they still need service. So don't let people think that when you buy an electric car, zero maintenance. We've done control arms. We've done brakes. We've done, they come with bad cambers. You got to put modified control arms. We've done tires, cabin filter, brake fluid flush. So there's still
there
money.
are services that still need to be done to maintain.
Not
it.
as much as a regular car, but there's still stuff that needs to get done to keep the car up to par.
I mean, I replaced the cabin filter. That's about the only thing I've done on mine. The one on the inside, 30-something.
Have you done a brake fluid flush yet?
No.
See, there you go.
And let's not forget the mentality is different with driving these cars. As with like your household's all EV, right? And so you're used to that now, right? And so like when I got into
gas stations.
Yeah. When I got into
all EV.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very disappointed in you.
But like for example, and it's something that I'm still not accustomed to, is the range anxiety. Right, so when you drive for long distances and your charge is going down, because definitely unlike a gas vehicle, which of course it fluctuates a little bit based on your driving habits, your utilization of anything electronic in an EV vehicle will drop that range.
I don't even think about it with the Tesla. Whenever I drive from here to Vegas, it's about 300 miles, right? Roughly, maybe a little more. And I've never taken the Tesla, but I've taken the Audi, right, the Q8, and it goes there, and we can stop by in Baker, plug in, and charge. But it's always weird with I've had problems with the Electrify America system.
That's the problem, is the infrastructure.
It's not as
it's not as robust.
Right.
And then you show up and it's broken, or there's 2-hour lines. It's definitely not Tesla. One of the main reasons why I got Tesla was for that. Tesla is because of the infrastructure. The superchargers, all over the place, and they're robust. Quite a few of them. Rarely do you wait in line.
We had to sit at Caesars. We went inside while we waited. We waited outside like half an hour to get in.
Yeah.
Plugged it in. Went to Cheesecake Factory to get lunch.
Yeah.
and then it said my charging stopped. After like 15 minutes of sitting down.
Did somebody unplug it?
No, I just went out and it just stopped. And I was like, what the hell, dude? So I went out there, I plugged it back in. And then, Caesars, you know you get lost, dude. I couldn't find my car, dude.
Yeah.
I was using like I had to use the find my car thingy.
Is it because they all look the same?
The Audi or the...
Which
no,
car?
we're driving the Audi.
The
Kia.
Audi, okay.
No, the Teslas, though, yeah,
I
you
did
hit the
mine
nail on the head with that. Another reason why I modified mine, which I wrapped it right away.
So you could find it?
I want to
They're all
find
the
it in the
same.
Costco parking lot. They all, okay, look at this. So in my
I
neighbor,
memorized my license
my
plate.
neighbor has a gray Model S, right? Great guy. But every time I see a gray Model S, I don't know whether to wave or not because I don't know if it's him.
Yeah.
Because it could be somebody else.
Sure.
And so they all look the same. But one time driving from my house, over by Magic Mountain to, let's say, over here, Copper Hill, let's say 10, 15-minute drive, just for fun, my son and I counted 121 Teslas. One way.
Which is fine.
Yeah,
Don't get me
it's
wrong.
fine, yeah.
It is what it is, but they only have like 5 colors. They're like to me, they're like robots.
Yeah.
Soulless robots. They're workhorses. They're pretty much the reason they're out there is to take me to point A to point B, and I don't care.
As convenient as possible.
As convenient
They're
as possible.
the modern day...
Save me gas money.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're the modern day Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, like Honda Civics.
Yeah.
These are
Dailies,
like
right.
yeah, they were
Every
daily
day,
drivers.
Everett, Suzuki.
Suzuki, no, that was the way back, dude. And that was not dependable.
I know.
No,
but okay, but now,
horsepower.
but now another problem we're seeing with Tesla, and I just experienced this, and I think you may as well. The service centers cannot catch up with the amount of supply, and so my car. Okay, so one of the reasons why I have so many miles on the Corvette is that recently is because my car has been waiting for 3 weeks to get into a service center for a left door handle.
I had the same problem with that door handle.
Yes.
That's a common issue on Tesla.
Yeah, very common. Yeah, at 30,000 miles or something like that. But before, when I first got the car, you could go make an appointment and get it, the next week. Now it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And the other day when I went there to drop off the car, the line was as long as like a line you'd see at Disneyland just to get in.
To drop, did you drop it off at 8 a.m.?
No, like 10 a.m. 11:45. 11:45. No, 8 a.m. is even worse. 8
a.m. 8 a.m.
is 8 a.m. ones
lined up.
Yeah, no, it's really, really bad. I've seen people out there go hot dog. You know what I mean? It's actually probably a good idea. Is go out there and
stand in line.
Service center?
Yes, yeah. So again, the mentality of the EV drivers. 'Cause I think there are more EV drivers coming into it than leaving it.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to have the infrastructure supported. So the charging infrastructure seems like it's there. The service has to be there. And don't forget also that one bad update, one glitch in an update on a software update could throw your car into, limp mode or another issue, and then you're taking in for service for that until they patch it. You're hoping they patch it between that and service.
Have you ever had a problem like that?
Yes.
I never had a problem like that.
Yeah, I had that with 2 updates ago where I'm trying to remember what happened. Oh, all of a sudden the parking sensors weren't working correctly and I couldn't put in FSD, and then they came out with a patch and it fixed it, on its own. But it was literally right after.
I had a trunk one time that wouldn't close. It just slammed, and it was and it was open, dude. So I couldn't drive it on the freeway.
Too much junk in the trunk.
Had too much air in the trunk, dude. That's like you're gonna
So
fly out
okay,
the
so
back.
that's the other thing with EVs. I think is that you're dealing with people joke around about it. And we heard it earlier today. Is that you're driving around an iPad, you're driving around an iPhone, and so little glitches could drive you nuts, right? And so,
to be fair, new cars have the same issues.
Oh, because of all the electronics.
No, just regular. Like since remember we worked at a dealership.
Yeah.
All the warranty work that we did. Guy comes in for a rattle. The guy comes in for this. The guy comes in for that. Oil leaks, like that. So that's kind of when a car's under warranty, or a brand new car, doesn't matter. They're always going to have issues.
Well,
electric, non-electric. Yeah. Of course, electric cars, when they have electrical issues, they're done. Like you can't drive them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With a gas-powered car, you still can't drive it.
Was it not recording?
No, this is just a backup.
Oh.
Just keep going.
Well, here's interesting too. So because it's under warranty, you probably recall this. People come in as like divas, like it's like a phantom complaint. They're not really there, but they please check it anyways, right? And then you check it, it's under warranty. Guess what Tesla does now? Tesla does every time you make an appointment with a certain complaint, it estimates that to double check that complaint, $245. Well, they'll charge you, but if it's covered under warranty, they'll waive it. So if you go in saying I got a problem with the windshield wipers aren't working correctly and you're wrong, $245.
What do you mean if you're wrong? Like they are working?
Yeah.
And you made me waste my time, so I got to charge you?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
silly. But don't usually Teslas have their updates like overnight where it's parked and
Oh
they
yeah, no, they do, but you can have an actual issue. So again, the problem I've seen with EVs is that you can have an issue one day, gone tomorrow. I had an issue several weeks ago where all of a sudden
sounds like a McLaren.
Yeah, there you go. I had an issue with condensation buildups, right? So sometimes the condensation you see it on the windshield when in the morning, whatever, when it's cold or whatever. This was condensation on the inside, which I've never seen. Right, and so it turns out, of course, I used my buddy ChatGPT to find out. And I think it was an issue with I left a couple water. It was the rainy. Remember when we had those rains recently?
Yes.
And I left several water bottles in the car, and it was very, very cold. And I guess it was an issue with how water can dissipate.
Condensation?
Yeah, condensation. And it affects the windshield on the inside. So at first I'm like, there's a leak, mold, whatever. No, it hasn't happened since. But I made an appointment for Tesla to check it out. Had I kept that and they had not been able to confirm it, they would have charged me $245 for $265.
They charge you a diag?
Check with your app. When you make an appointment for warranty repair work, they'll say estimate around $245 or so, because if it's not a warranty work, if it's not warranty doesn't cover it, there's a good chance you'll end up paying for it.
So if they can't duplicate it, they'll charge you no matter what.
I haven't had it happen yet, but that's the impression that I get on it.
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, they can. I think they can.
Why even estimate it at $245? If it's a warranty.
This is why, because if you bring it in and it turns out to be something that's not covered, that you broke or that like is negligent, that way they at least get their tech paid. Yeah,
but that's what that is. Yeah.
But if they can't duplicate it, usually they'll be like, "Dude, sorry, I can't. I think you're having a problem." They don't want a bad customer service thing. So,
but they're not into it. I never heard any bad things about Tesla's customer service when it comes to this.
You may be right on that, so I stand corrected. So I'm going to leave right now. No, but I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I understand why Tesla would even.
But the regular dealers do that too, by the way. Like if you go in for a warranty issue, they'll say, "Okay, cool, we'll look into it," but there's a $400 estimate for diagnostics. If it's a warrantable issue, we'll take care of it. Okay. But it's not. They're kind of guaranteeing that at least I'm covered no matter what, warranty or not warranty.
Especially if you added aftermarket, right? Like if they see an aftermarket radio and you're telling them that like something's like electricals happened, they could be like, oh, maybe it's that radio causing it. And then you got to go back to the radio shop.
That's a whole different topic. We could talk about the whole aftermarket crap they try to blame.
Okay, so it happened to me today with Tesla, and it's happened before. Here's what's interesting. I think you remember this. You'll remember this when I bring it up. So Tesla, and again, they've always been awesome with me. The service center, local, whatever. A lot of young people. And I'm not discounting that, but there's something to say about seniority and being in the business for quite some time as a tech to kind of know what the book says and what reality says. Same thing with law. Same thing with any profession, I think, right? Same with all of us. And so it happened once, and I think Raffi's going to remember this in a minute, is I go in and I had an issue. I forgot, with the alignment. The alignment went off, and so it threw off all the sensors.
All the sensors, yes. Correct, yeah.
So I take it in, and all of a sudden they fix it. They go, hey, you have to go get it realigned. We can't do it here. They bring it back. And Raffi was able to fix it. I have to take it back to Tesla. But before that, they call me going, you need new rotors. You need new. Remember that?
Rotors? You have a track pack, dude. Those are like those carbon fiber rotors?
Because there were cracks on them.
Ceramic. Oh.
They said there's your rotors, because they come like that, right? You know,
right, yeah.
These little, that's how they're built.
Yes.
The weaves on the carbon ceramics, that's what it is. And they told him he needs new ones.
Yeah.
Dude, those are expensive.
No, but I mean, yes, of course.
Well, they're like a couple grand a rotor?
You guys installed these. It's a track back through Tesla. They go, yeah, sir, but you must have did something because they're cracked, whatever. And they send me pictures. I go, no. And I contacted.
You sent it to me. I'm like,
yeah, this is how they look.
So I went to my GT3. I'm like, look at mine. It looks the same as yours. Mine is the same.
Yes, this is how they look. So I get back to them. I go, okay, well, you need to sign a waiver that we're not going to repair them then. You're going to be responsible. I go, fine. I go, that's how they look.
Yeah.
So
that's actually very embarrassing.
Yeah. So that happened today as well with the issue with the door handle. They go, sir, we got to remove an aftermarket carbon fiber piece you have on the door right there. I go, okay, that's fine. At first I said that, and I go, wait, on the door, I didn't do anything on the door. I go, that's stock. That's OEM. That came like that. I have the carbon fiber package. No, I don't know that. I got to talk to the tech, and then finally call me back later. Oh, we confirmed. Yes, that's OEM. How do you not know what's OEM?
They just look stupid at the end of the day.
Yes.
And that's embarrassing, to be honest with you. Because when you go to a dealership, that's like the highest. That's it. Yeah. There's nothing above the dealership, and that's why I'm going here.
Right.
But when you get these kind of responses, like, what? Are you guys dumb?
Yeah, because Raffi and I met at dealerships, right?
We worked at dealerships.
So
exactly.
Raffi and I, back 20 years ago, when I was a tech for Cadillac, Raffi we worked together.
I was his apprentice. Actually, ever
really
taught me it was 15A, right? It was called 15A,
15A,
which is
yeah.
electrical. We did all the electrical stuff and rattles and little stuff like that. And I worked under him for about a year, 2 years.
Cadillac?
Somewhere around there.
Cadillac,
Yeah.
Funny.
Which
In
is kind of
Northridge.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
So
You know what? Ever always told me this. Your biggest tool is your pen.
Really?
Yeah, that was
Well,
the
because
best
most
tool.
people would
He
fix
likes to
cars.
sit on his pens. That's why.
Relax, bro. we used to no, because I used to sit in front of a computer and read all the schematics and read all the and then I would just write like all the little things that I would do, and then I would send the invoices in.
Yeah.
Because
warranty work because we had to back in the day write down all the what do we do to find that problem.
Right.
Well, we remove this, that, remove, inspect, write that down. Okay, now fix the problem and replaced, let's just say whatever, an airflow meter or whatever the case might be. And we were timed in, and we needed certain hours to get to point A to point B. So the better you wrote, the more hours you got. The more hours you got, the more money you made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Doesn't matter if you found it in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because that's your experience right now.
Right.
Because your experience, like
Right.
your rotors are cracked. Oh my God, you didn't get the. You know, it's like, dude, I know what I'm doing, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna get paid for my experience. But you need to do all this here
Yep.
to get to this level of where I'm at.
Yep.
So I want to get paid for that.
Yeah,
and
no, makes
that's
sense.
why you got to write all that stuff down.
Now, speaking of warranty work, one thing that a lot of people don't know, and I learned this even in my profession, because we have a very robust lemon law department. We work with a really, really good attorney that takes lead on it. And one thing he told me is that most people don't realize that literally 1 out of every 3 cars, can be a lemon or it has lemon attributes to it, because people don't realize that after you take a car in for the same thing after 3 times and they can't fix it, depending on the mileage, depending if it's CPO, certified,
Pre-owned.
Pre-owned exactly, or a regular warranty, you might be able to lemon that aspect of the vehicle. It doesn't mean that you lemon the title or whatever. You might be able to negotiate with the manufacturer for compensation on the fact that they can't seem to repair it.
I don't know if CPO qualifies for that.
CPO, maybe not for the 3 times, but regular warranty does.
If you bought the car brand new,
Yeah.
let's say from the shop, yes, for 3 times the same and 30 days that's been in the shop.
Not and 30 days. No, we've had 3 times without the 30 days.
You could do 3 times or a 30
Or,
days.
yes,
Yeah,
or
it's been-
yes.
it's
or
been
one
there for-
time in
yes.
30 days.
Yeah, it's
that
been
it's
there
in
for
there.
30 days. They
Yes,
can't figure
yes,
out. Then you're then yes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Correct.
And a lot of people don't realize that the manufacturers will pay for the attorney's fees, our attorney's fees on it if we get involved. So oftentimes consumers deal directly. Nothing wrong with that, but there might be more compensation involved because, of course, there might be many deals. Like anything, they might lowball you, as to what you're entitled to, or et cetera, that kind of thing. But also one thing people don't realize when they do have an issue that they're going to settle with the manufacturer is that you'll still have warranty coverage for that issue, but now you cannot bring that issue up again to lemon it. Whether you settle it out or you do lemon. If you lemon the vehicle, you're giving it up or you're keeping it as a lemon if you want to. I mean, depending on negotiations, but you can't lemon it twice for the same thing. So it's either
Right,
one
because
or,
you got reimbursed for that situation,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Well, that you signed off at that point,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, the cars usually you sell the car and then you get a settlement and then you get most likely you're gonna get all your money back and more.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Exactly.
And you also drove a car however long you had it for free.
But the point being is that there are options, and a lot of people don't realize that. Usually up to the 3.3 service mark or the 30-day. So, I remember when I was young. Okay, so for example, I don't know if Raffi knows this. When I had the 2011 Porsche, the one that you destroyed. So the Porsche
Panamera Turbo?
S, yeah.
Great.
Great.
Destroy it.
Just bottomed it out.
He hit
Yeah,
a-
bottom. We hit a dip and
How fast were you going?
not fast enough faster than I want to admit to.
So we're out for the evening. He's driving in. He hits a dip on Riverside Drive in the valley, and all of a sudden, he hit it so hard that warning cells all over the place. Warning lights came up all over
The
the place.
air conditioning compressor bracket broke and the belt
Belt
came off.
Okay.
So then no air conditioning.
I don't know how you still
no
got
power
it
steering
home. I don't
pump.
know how you still got it home.
No
I opened the
alternator.
hood. I yanked the belt out
Yeah,
so it wouldn't lock up, and then threw it in the car and drove home.
but remember the power steering was out.
Yeah, because
So,
the power steering
yeah,
pump was. So yeah,
exactly.
you had to muscle it. Dude.
Yep. So able to get it fixed. But anyways, that wasn't the issue. But that car, unbeknownst to me, because that was the first time I was ever got a Porsche, so I decided it was part of it. I had to put oil in it every month. Every month it required oil. And had I known that that's not a normal thing to do or happen, maybe I would have limited. But that's happened a lot with those Panameras. Did that happen a lot with Porsche in general back then, or now?
Porsche will eat up oil. It's in their manual.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
A certain amount of miles, certain amount
Yeah.
of quartz goes in, and that's factory.
Really?
It's like that's it. That's known. That's
Yeah.
known. Them when you start them up when they smoke,
Yeah.
normal.
Okay, good.
You know, all that stuff they have like that, which sounds stupid, but it's for Porsche world, it's normal.
Really? So every month, I personally
How many
had to put-
miles?
I don't even. Well, yeah. So I was commuting from Pasadena to Studio City. So I don't know what that is. 20 miles each way, or whatever. So 40 miles a day, 5 days a week. So
A quart every 3,000 miles?
I mean, I wouldn't put 3,000 miles in a month. You know,
I
on
think
it.
that's what General
More than that?
Motors
Yeah,
their
less
stat
than-
is.
no less than that.
You
Less
get
than
you
that.
get like a quart every, I think 1,000 miles even.
It'll
I don't remember.
it'll depends on the car and the manufacturer and what they've
Yeah.
been seeing.
But eventually, I blew the engine on it. And it was a defect. No, there was a class action on the defect. I got an extended warranty on it because I
It
love
was
the
the
car.
variators, right? The cam broke.
Yes, the
Yes.
cam broke. Yes,
Yeah.
and it busted. It was a little less than 1,000 miles left on the warranty,
Ooh.
and it busted. So I got it brand new. Oh, and I got railed by Porsche. Let me see all your service,
Yes.
records, all that stuff, and I had all that because I didn't get the oil changes done there. I got a certified Porsche mechanic in Pasadena that did it, et cetera. So I got it, and eventually they sent over a new engine from Germany, $50,000 engine at that time. For it.
There was that should have been a recall, but I don't think they did a recall. They did
No,
like
there was a class action on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on it.
Well,
Porsche should
$50,000
have-
probably why not, right?
well, Porsche I'm shocked. They should have a lot of class action lawsuits on their hands. The product they're producing right now is very disappointing, to be honest with you.
Really, you're seeing a lot the newer ones.
Like these GT3s, the 991.1 GT3s,
Yeah.
they've been having issues when they first made them. They gave
Overheat?
everybody. No, they had like issues. They had a couple different issues in the car.
Okay.
The cam followers and rod bolts getting loose and all this other stuff. So they gave everybody a 10-year warranty.
Okay.
Now the 10-year warranty's out, and people are blowing motors, to clean
Yeah.
those ends, and they're
Yeah.
not helping these people out. I think that's bullshit.
So that's why you're seeing them.
I have a customer right
Yeah.
now, 2015 GT3, 32,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Cam followers are bad. He needs a new motor, and Porsche pretty much just said, go fly a kite.
How much would it cost?
At least 50, 60 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
God, and that's a rebuilt motor, not a new.
Brand
motor.
new motor from Porsche.
Oh, brand new motor.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Can you
And
do
they-
a rebuilt on it or no?
You can if you want it. Yeah, it's still going to cost you 30, 40
Yeah,
grand.
yeah.
But it's a known issue. This guy never got the updated engine, the G6 motor like
Yeah.
he's supposed to.
yeah.
And now he's stuck with this car with a blown motor. And he's trying to find a ways to, he called Porsche North America. Nobody's giving him any time of day, which
Yeah.
I think is
Because legally they don't have to.
because they had
Yeah,
issues with
yeah.
their GT3s, their
Yeah.
997 motors, 996 motors,
Really?
Boxster motors. It's
What about the 992s?
992s are so far so good.
Okay.
Yeah,
got it,
no
okay.
issues from there, from what
Okay,
I've been hearing.
Okay.
But I mean, nonstop engine issues, but yet they're not standing behind their work because the cost of the engine rebuild or put one
Yeah.
in exceeds the value of the car.
Right.
90% of the time. So it's like, what?
Oftentimes it makes it easier to just deal with that one claim, that one headache. That okay, we're going to litigate it and just pay that out, than to issue a recall on all of them.
But for a company like Porsche, I'm like, you guys are, you know, hierarchy. You guys are up there, man.
Yeah, of course.
Why are you building these kind of cars?
Cost
Or get a
saving-
fix? Yeah, I get that,
Yeah.
but you're selling so many cars, making so much money. You have all these
Well, are they
people-
making money? I mean, recently they said they were losing money because they focused too much on the EV.
EV. That's all the EV
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
I think Ford lost what
Yep.
$20 billion
Yep.
on EV because they're done making them now.
Yeah.
That's all EV stuff. But I don't
Well, okay, so we're going off script. You want to get to your little script?
know. Sorry,
Okay, the first one. Mary had a little lamb.
little lamb,
Her
little lamb.
fleece was white as snow. What's it say?
It's talking. Well, the first thing is about EVs, right?
Can you
But I
hook me
think
up with
we,
some of that?
Yeah.
I think we already
Talked a little bit
talked
about
up too much
Okay.
about EVs. If anything, maybe we'll bring them in, but when we can segue them into this, how do brands like Porsche, Ferrari, Lambo, McLaren define performance differently than
when people talk about the fastest cars.
the fastest cars?
Yeah, that's the second one. Do that
The
one.
second, when people talk about the fastest cars in the world, how much should track times really matter compared to real world driving?
That's a good question.
That's actually, that's good because
it. It's a good question because I don't. So Mario goes off by times. He looks at the times. He looks at the horsepower, the numbers, like the
Yeah.
brochure. right?
yeah.
That's what I want. That's
It's
what
an individual preference.
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's
because
what
you
he
bought
wants.
your car sight unseen, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you ordered
Well, he
it
bought the
and-
car because 1,064
Yeah.
horsepower,
The numbers.
fast as hell in the Nürburgring.
Yeah.
It's killing everything, everywhere, everything possible. That's the car I want.
Yeah.
And it had to. And
Now,
then at the end, Corvette. It's a Corvette,
Yeah.
right? For X amount of money. So, this is a individual question because for me, am I going to track that car and actually use that car to its full potential? I'm not a race car driver. I dabble. I'm an amateur weekend warrior, but no way in hell I'm going to push that car to its limit like a real race car.
You're not throwing it on a plane and going out to Nuremberg.
No, and there's no way in hell I'm that talented to push that car to that same limit as those engineers did on that car.
And the time and the effort.
So to me,
training,
it does not matter track times and all that stuff. To me, what matters on a car, do I like the car? Is it a good performance car? And for the money I'm paying, what am I getting for it?
What about reliability? Does that?
Well, technically, most of these cars that we get are reliable, minus Porsche bullshit. But right,
McLaren.
McLarens. I think what I notice with McLarens is that if you drive it, they're pretty reliable.
That's what I keep hearing. If it sits, then it's just.
It just rots or what?
Yeah, any low voltage issues, it freaks the car out.
Yeah.
Because it sits for half the year, right?
So then the battery dies, and then
because they got these lithium batteries, they're very expensive, by the way. If they go low voltage, the car freaks out. AC doesn't work. The radio doesn't work. It starts like on 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
And then people they freak out. They take it to the dealer, and the dealer goes, "Oh, we just have to reset it," and he charges you thousands of dollars for doing that. Then it comes
takes
back
them
to
2
you.
weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3, and then it comes back to you. You put it back on a charger, and they take it out, and they do it over and over again.
And then you think your car's a piece of crap, but really it's just...
It's because the people I spoke to who have high miles have no issues. I service cars that have 10, 15, 20, 35,000 miles on their McLarens, and that's unheard of, right? But all they come to me, service work. Oil changes.
Yeah, because they're driving it, right? And they need
air
to service
filters,
at regular intervals.
They never come to me, hey, man, my car's doing this. Hey, man, my car's doing that. This electrical issue here, the electrical... Nope, none of that shit.
So the catch-22 on it now is like the individual that we met, remember with the McLaren,
Oh,
was
yeah.
that, I told you about this, he got a lease on a 750S, beautiful car, $3,000 a month, and he has 6,000 miles only that he could use it.
I know you're talking about Scott. Okay.
Yeah, so then it's like
But he had never had any issues.
No, not Scott. Not
He
Scott.
didn't.
Scott.
No, that's
Somebody
was
else.
an attorney guy,
younger
right?
Yeah, younger attorney guy. No, he already had electrical issues.
you
Remember I
were
told you?
telling me.
Yeah,
He didn't
electrical
like the seats. He didn't like a bunch of stuff. He was really
the
like...
infotainment system wasn't working well, and he just fell in love with the ZR1. He's like, I should have gotten one of these.
He kind of laughed when you asked him, how's the infotainment? He's like...
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Do you really care when you buy a supercar like that about the infotainment system?
So here's I can speak real world example here. So the ZR1, the one hiccup it does have, at least mine, is the Apple CarPlay. It's just it works, doesn't work, et cetera, so it gets busy. Yes and no. Let me tell you why. So I drove over here with it pretty much off. It glitched on me, and I have it on, so I get to hear the engine. I take in the visceral feel of the vehicle, right? But there are other moments where for me driving that car and having the right song playing is just everything. It's just everything, right?
Sure.
So you actually can't listen to music?
No, well, there are some cars, and he knows this. Like my friend Maurice, who has the Lamborghini Miura. He also has a Competizione, I think Gallardo, whatever. That Gallardo, and he would know this more than I do, but it doesn't come with a stereo.
It's optional.
Nor does the Miura. Miura doesn't come with a stereo. Nor does it come with it doesn't come with ace cup holders.
Oh no, exotic cars.
Yeah.
I don't know about now, but back in the day, never came with cup holders, cruise control.
Yeah.
The radio system was like a secondary thing. They're like,
If that.
you want
Yeah.
one? Okay, we'll put. Here you go, bro. I don't give a shit. The cheapest sounding.
Yeah.
Pretty much is like
and you pay good money for it, like hi-fi radio for like $5-6 grand, but it sounds like shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Your Prius would sound so much better.
Yeah.
Right. That's how because they didn't care for that.
Yeah.
When I worked at Ferrari, when people start complaining about because they couldn't get their Apple phone to hook up to the car, the fact is like, we don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
That's not the point of this car. You know what I mean?
But the consumer
Yeah.
does now. So
But the consumer, yes, you're right. The consumer now really wants their iPhone to hook up. They want their heated seats. They want the AC seats. But it's like, but that's not the point of this car.
Right, you need to get a different car.
Go get a Mercedes.
Yeah.
You know, that has all the stuff you need that you don't have to worry about. This is, you get in, you turn it on, you go 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
All day, every day. Look sexy as hell, 200 miles an hour. Woo! That was great. Did you listen to music? What music? No, man, you see the turbos whistle,
I didn't have
the sound,
time, yeah.
exhaust, blah, blah, blah. It just sound bitching. You know, that's
You
it.
enjoy the car.
That's
It's
it.
not just the transportation
I'm not
with,
in the
where
car.
you need to be entertained.
Right, yeah. It's like the car is your entertainment. You don't need anything else.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it was. Now, like you guys said, Yeah, people want that now. I want my CarPlay. I want
It's
to
more
be
expected,
comfortable.
right?
I want
Even
to
like,
be
for
that.
example,
I want
with the ZR1. So my ZR1, the 2026, all the C8 line, the entire C8 line has a refreshed interior, which I think looks beautiful. It looks like a mini Escalade, 3 screens, all that stuff. The one thing
It does look better
don't
than the
like
regular.
about it is that he has a huge focal point on the cup holders. Right, there's 2 giant cup holders right in the middle, whereas before in the 2025 it was a cover there for the cup holders, right? Which I like because it would make it look smooth. But now it's like 2 giant cup holders there, which for me, going back to Raffi's point, this is a supercar. Why should the cup holders be such a focal point? On it.
Because that's the least factor they think about. Oh,
Yeah.
we should put a cup
Yes.
holder. Let's engineer. Let's
Exactly.
spend all our
For the
engineering
longest
money
time, better than
for
I
a
did,
cup holder.
For the longest time, Porsche didn't have cup holders. Right? And
Ferrari didn't either.
Yeah, and Ferrari didn't either.
No,
you got to
no.
buy those aftermarket. You have to
I
go
feel
to
like they
AutoZone.
had them. They used to hide them in the dash sometimes. Like they would pop
Eventually.
up. They started
Eventually,
popping out
they
of the
do that.
dash.
996 and all that stuff. They do like you.
You don't remember
Which
before
is
that? You'd have
so
to go
annoying.
to AutoZone or Pep Boys and get that little hook thing on the windshield.
On the
excuse
door,
me,
right?
The door, right. You'd hook it right there. But again, the consumer wants it. So, it's money, right? You're going to lose a consumer to another vehicle.
Because
that
of
might
cup
have-
holders.
You'd be surprised. Or just it's
Then that's not your car. Then you shouldn't be owning this car.
No, I-
like when people say they're buying these supercars or these very expensive cars, what's the MPG on them? Ooh, it's like I hear people say,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
dude, this guy drinks." It's like, dude, you're in the wrong.
Wrong
this
car.
is not the car. That's not
Yeah.
the car for you.
Yeah.
If you got to think, if you're going to spend $350, $400, $500,000, and you're going to worry about that, you got to fill this up every so often because it gives you 15 miles to the gallon, 10 miles to the gallon.
okay. Talk about supercars. A disappointment for me, and tell me what you guys think. I'm curious. The Ford GT. I think it's a beautiful looking car, but the performance specs are horrendous.
See, specs guy, numbers guy.
Yeah. To me, see, I wouldn't. I've never driven one,
Even
so
the
I don't
track
know. But
numbers
I'm
are-
just
but
looking
why else
Ford
get it?
versus.
Why else? You can't even
I
go
don't know,
fast.
Ford versus Ferrari,
it's
dude.
A
Like
V6 twin turbo V6.
What he's talking about is
Yeah.
it's a V6 twin turbo. How many horses?
I think 600 or something
But
like
back
that.
in the day, how old is that car?
I think they stopped making it in 2014 maybe, or no, 2019. They made one in 2019.
Are you talking about the original one, the
No, it started
1960s
back-
one, or
no,
the
They started,
2014,
I
the
think,
more recent?
2009.
Yeah.
And I want to
Well,
say
that's a supercharged one too.
they do for the Ford GT, for the Ford
GT.
Yeah,
correct.
for the one that looks like a beautiful exterior styling. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like a fighter plane.
But the,
you know.
the new ones, I think I forgot when they stopped making them. To be honest with you, I can't really say. But yeah, you could definitely look
Yeah.
at it. But that car is very popular, very expensive, not because of numbers.
Why?
Nostalgia.
Because it's the nostalgia of the car.
That car goes all the way back to the 60s Le
Ford
Mans.
versus
Oh, that
Ferrari.
movie, that Ford.
Yeah,
versus
Ford
Ferrari.
versus
Not just
Ferrari.
movies, it's real. It's real. Ford versus Ferrari, right? The Ford GT. It's an icon. Doesn't matter if they made it, because when they put the EcoBoost V6 in there, everybody fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
what are you doing here? But doesn't matter. The nostalgia is it's still a
Okay, so what engine should have been put in there?
V8,
You're right. So why didn't they?
a supercharged V8, which they did.
Yes. So there's right
Or yeah,
Is
Gorgeous
that more
car.
recent, or did they go through the V6
well,
and
let's
then now
see,
they're back
let's
to
see.
V8?
Okay, 2017, 2022. No, it was a 3.5 liter twin turbo EcoBoost V6.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But they
it
did that
doesn't
in the
have
same
Raptor too, right?
Explore, which oh my god,
660 horsepower.
They
No,
did-
they killed the. I mean, I got
They
the
killed the
Raptor. They
Raptor,
killed the
bro.
Raptor, and then they were asleep behind the wheel in the.
So you
TRX
want to hear
came out.
okay?
Yeah.
A Raptor looks bitchin', wide, aggressive. You go, it sounds like crap.
Yeah.
From what it looks like, it looks awesome, beautiful truck. But the sound and the way it looks is ridiculous.
Well, because they went up against the TRX, right, for a little while. They,
You know,
they
I
had-
no,
had
it
a
was
Ra-
before TRX. The
Oh,
Raptor,
okay.
they put the EcoBoost V6 turbocharged
Yeah.
car in there.
I had a Raptor. I think it was before I met you, but I had a Raptor, 2017 Raptor. Loved my first truck ever. Loved it. I over modified it. So I did the whole the pedal
Mario.
commander.
I love Mario.
The
Best
giant
customer ever.
the giant 37s, big rims.
Catalog.
It would
Do it.
it would run really hot on long trips and over hills.
Oh.
So just because it was too, I'm assuming it was too heavy. The tires were huge. I had a lift on.
Would it overheat?
Yeah, it would push. It would push like 220, 240.
No, so it's right on the brink.
So right there, I move over to the slow lane, all that stuff, and that's without towing. And towing, forget it. When I tried towing
Was that on turbocharged?
yeah, it was a V6, V6 turbocharged. And so eventually, as you know, Ruben bought it, and I got the Tremor instead. But that car was a great car.
I thought that wasn't an 8-cylinder one.
No, the 8-cylinder was the 2014.
Okay.
So the 2017 through the 2019 was a V6 twin turbo, and then again they were cornering the market. Dodge was asleep at the wheel at that time, and then Ford was asleep at the wheel when the Dodge came out with the TRX and just killed the market share. I mean, just
That's a badass truck.
yes. So
And
just took it
GM's
over.
never competed in that space, right? Where it's like a power super
Was
truck
it
kind of thing.
the Raptor?
Well, they kind of
The Raptor R.
No,
GM
GM.
didn't.
GM, no.
No, GM has a Trail Boss now. So has a Trail Boss, which is
But it's
okay.
nothing
It
like
had that
nothing-
Z71 and all that, but it never really
No, no,
competed
no.
against the Raptor. The
No.
Raptor looked cool. It had a lot of
Yes.
power.
But now the Raptor's, even though it's still selling for over,
But they got
over
the
MSRP.
the SVT,
The Raptor? No, the Raptor has the R now. So
the R, yeah. That
R
has
has the
the
V8. Yes.
That's the Cobra
The
motor.
Coyote engine, yeah.
The supercharged
Isn't
V8.
it a Coyote engine?
It's the Cobra motor.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
yeah.
a supercharged V8.
So it looks great. Looks great. Looks aggressive.
great,
But I still like the TRX better in that respect. So, but they killed the TRX and they bring it on as a RHO now, RHO. And so the rumors that they're bringing back the TRX as well, just like they're bringing back the gas Chargers and Challengers when they went EV, and it killed them. They killed them on it. When Mopar went that route.
Yeah,
Stood
it's
out-
not
stood
a. It's
out
not a.
as
You know
well.
what? I'll tell you the Mopar line of Hellcat, Red Eye.
Yeah.
I don't all the
Demon,
Bumblebee,
yeah.
Demon, and all that. The car that
Bumblebee?
Demon is
Yeah.
sick when it hooks. But
Demon?
well, all those cars they have that's a 1,000 horsepower car, right?
Demon will beat the ZR1. That's the one car that will beat the ZR1
If
on
it
drag
hooks.
radials off the line.
If it hooks.
That's what I heard. That's what I saw on
The
online.
Demon?
Yeah, the Demon. It's just off the line.
But if it hooks, that's the big thing, and you have to have like
you're gonna spin. You're gonna spin.
that car is all about a prep surface.
Yeah.
If it's not done on a prep
Yeah, the
surface,
perfect
it's
conditions. Yeah.
But that's the whole thing with their line is it just doesn't hook up. They have
Right.
tons of power. They overpowered the car, put humongous motors in them, but they don't hook up.
Right.
And
Because the technology hasn't come for them to get it actually like the Tesla.
yeah,
That's what's most impressive about Tesla is that when you go to the ludicrous mode, right? You brake, gas, it squats, takes off like bat out of hell, no wheel spin.
He did.
Zero.
He launched my Plaid. It was just
I launched
insane.
all his cars
Yeah.
except for the truck.
Yeah. yeah.
That's next.
I know. I got to mod it. All right. So let's get
you need
next
new windshield wiper blades, Mario. Take it in tomorrow.
Yeah, we should bring it up real
Yeah,
quick. Let's see
yeah.
what that truck could
Okay,
do.
next question. How do brands like Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and McLaren define performance differently than American manufacturers? What's the
I mean, honestly, the American manufacturers always been up there.
But I'd say they're not as sexy.
That's
I'd say that's the
well,
word that I would use on an import more
then-
so
then
than
it's
a,
not the performance,
and
right?
01.
so the C7 Corvettes were very fast, even though they had the overheating issues. But they were still up there with the
power wise, performance wise.
performance wise.
Which one does?
ZL1 1LE Camaro was up there with the
He had one.
yeah I
Yeah,
had one.
yeah.
They were up there. I was on the track taking all those guys out one by one.
What I mean is,
Performance wise, if you're talking about appearance, sex appeal, it's very hard to compete with a European car, and I'm
Yeah.
not talking about Porsche.
yeah, Porsche probably. I don't know how Porsche is like.
Porsche is not sexy. I think it's a
just
great car.
iconic.
It's
Yeah.
an
It's just
iconic car.
iconic. It's
I don't
got its own
consider
look.
a Porsche a supercar, an exotic car, and I consider a very high sports car.
Yeah.
Just like the Corvette.
What's
Yeah,
the 99
The 918.
yeah, that one I'd say is probably the only one that's up there.
Yeah, it's a one-off.
Even though the
just like the
performance
Carrera
numbers
GT.
are pretty good.
Like the Carrera GT and the 918, I would consider those a supercar for sure because they're one-offs, right? Like a Ferrari, they're all exotics.
Yeah,
I don't care what kind of Ferrari.
down
you
to
buy.
the smallest one, right?
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
it. Lamborghini.
And
they're
the
all
thing
exotics.
is, you can't mistake a Ferrari
McLaren,
for anything
all
else.
Yeah.
You can't mistake a Lambo for anything else.
Well, think about it. What defines exotic? Limited production, right?
Right.
Built to suit.
What does
right?
define exotic?
That's what I've heard. Is that limited production? I mean, certain things, certain parameters, right? I mean, not one over.
Is
the
it
other.
European though? Is European an exotic, or is there
Well, no, no,
such a thing as American
okay,
exotic?
So then let me ask you: is the GTD an exotic with a limited production, limited run? But when you look at the interior,
450 grand,
yeah, I wouldn't pay that.
So are you?
or is it price? That's too. That's
Are you
another factor.
considering the price as an exotic?
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause you
exotic means rare to obtain. Let's agree on that definition. Exotic bird, exotic animal. You rarely see.
Well, the pricing does limit it,
Rarely
right?
See it,
Yes.
I could see as an exotic. Like
right. So
wow, I
how do
never
you
seen that
rarely
car.
see a vehicle? You limit its production.
Well,
You make
Yeah.
it have extreme potential and limit its production.
in business though, if you're a businessman and you're going to build something and you're going to build a bunch of them, you want to make sure there's enough market for it.
But,
And the
but-
price point is a big limiting factor for
but with
your
Ferrari and
demographic.
Lambo, they could limit their production and price it high, and people will buy it.
that's their niche.
Because they have their clientele.
Yeah.
No matter what car they make, shitty or not, it's sold.
Okay, so the question is the Euro, like the SUVs. Everybody's getting the SUVs now, the exotics, right? The Urus. Okay, is that an exotic? It's more. It's not limited production. It's more, everyday. Right? It's not. Right?
I think
But
a
it's
true
made by
guy
Lamborghini.
person wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
My wife would argue with me like big time.
Yeah.
She loves that
But
thing.
I think an exotic, supercar, hypercar, it's within a person where they think that's a supercar. You might think that's not a supercar.
Look, mine's not an exotic.
So it's a personal opinion kind of thing.
I think I really do, because I ask this question to a lot of people, and I always get mixed feelings about, oh, well, that one is because low production.
Yeah.
Oh, that one is because it's $1 million. Because you could
That's
have
a
$1 million
hypercar.
Porsche,
yeah.
like a
Yeah.
19,
But it's not a hypercar.
65,
Right.
whatever the case. It's $1 million. Does that make it into a hypercar?
Those Mercedes, barn finds are like $5 million,
AMG
and they're like
yeah,
still they
yeah.
need to be restored.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make?
Yeah.
Is that like what category are those cars?
It's really
They're
so.
$5 million.
There's
Is
no
it a supercar,
definition,
hypercar?
right?
No.
There's no like the federal chair, dictating the interest rate. Somebody dictating this is exotic. This is
There's no
nobody
there's
coming out
no
with the
set rules
scepter with the
for it,
scepter
right.
going. This is exotic. This is super.
Or
this
you
is
think
hyper.
somebody could
Like a-
come out with like a book and be like, "This is the exotics that are."
But I
and
do
then, like,
agree that let's say for example the ZR1 is not a limited.
All right, we're gonna
production.
start a new committee, dude, and we're gonna
Yes.
start like going down the law and create a book.
I
and
think the
publish it.
ZR1 Next can, by some definitions, be an exotic because they're going to limit the production on the ZR1 X. That's what they're saying.
Well,
The
some people
01
say it's a
never-
supercar too.
Oh yeah, supercar definitely. No, my car is definitely a supercar. There's no doubt about that.
Why do you think it's a supercar?
Do the performance specs.
So you're going off performance
Yeah,
specs.
Yeah. So
Supercar
make it
performance
super.
specs.
Make
Okay.
it super. So it's not a hyper. Hyper's the price. It's not $1 million car or above. That's usually a hyper. Is you have the performance
I'd
specs
say
and you have the price.
Performance
With-
being that it can do over 200 miles an hour, that in itself kind of limits it. That's a top speed, right? I mean, it's a spec.
When you're identified as a fastest rear wheel production car to date, you're a supercar.
So
I think-
Dodge Demon.
It's not the fastest rear. No,
It
okay.
was when
it
it
was at
first
some
came out.
point. It was at some point. Dodge,
Is Dodge Demon a supercar?
not anymore. So maybe it was when it came out, but not anymore.
I don't
Well,
know.
with,
Or it was a supercar killer. So it just, I mean,
No,
yeah,
but Dodge Demon only did one thing and one thing only. Straight
yeah,
lines,
it was
straight
a
lines.
one-trick
That's
pony,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to me, that's not a supercar. A ZR1 is more than a one-trick pony. It does everything awesome.
Yeah.
Quarter mile, 0-60. Go to any track you want, smoke everybody. So that says something. Supercar? Yeah.
So you think lateral performance, like in steering and like track performance, not just drag race, right?
I think overall, but again, I'm an overall guy in that respect. Like you mentioned, I got this car because it literally has the specs that I personally
Overall,
enjoy.
yeah.
Yeah, overall.
This car does overall
well,
everything.
let's dabble back into the electric,
Okay,
right?
so ready? So real quick. So ChatGPT, why the Dodge Demon is not a supercar? Mid-engine or a supercar is typically defined by a mid-engine or exotic layout.
Nope.
Okay.
False.
Right? Lightweight construction, advanced chassis and aero, road course capability, global performance balance.
False.
So it's not. Yeah,
That's to me.
but mine hits all those.
Yeah, yours hit all
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
I don't think that's what defines a supercar to me. I could build a supercar then.
You
Get
can.
me an MR2 mid-engine,
right.
make it to 1,000 horsepower, beat every one of you guys. So I have an MR2 that's a supercar.
All right, let's ask.
Well, it's in the category.
I would say if it's manufactured that way, like if it's produced,
Production
mass-produced,
car. So you're
yeah.
saying a production? It has to be a production car. So I can't.
even if it is in like
so
limited
I can't
production,
build a supercar
no,
myself.
you can't garage it.
What happened? You got stuffing. Okay, almost always no on the modified MR2. I like your hypothetical. Why? Okay, it says here mid-engine, good start. Lightweight, check. Affordable mass market sports cars built with economy car bones.
That
But
would
again,
that would
but what
kill
does
an
this tell us?
Because
MR2.
they use the MR2 to do like 355 chassis.
Well, okay, so here's what's funny. So
the
li-
Ferrari
Ford
look
Fiero,
alike.
do you remember
Yeah,
that?
Okay, so
Ford,
check this
yeah,
out.
the Fiero, they did it. Yeah.
Oh no, it's a
So, I
Pontiac
don't know if we
Fiero.
had
Pontiac is a Pontiac.
Oh, the
Sorry,
Fiero.
Ford sounded more like
so
a Ford.
guess what? I don't know if we had this
Fiesta,
conversation
that's
before,
right.
but guess what car constantly comes up when I talk to people who track vehicles on a regular basis? Willow Springs, local,
Porsche.
whatever. No. Honda S2000. I don't know if it's lightweight. They modify it, of course, but because it's lightweight, you're literally it's a go kart.
I think that car is very dependable and it's very strong.
What would you say as to why? Like this one guy, you might know him. I keep forgetting his name. He has one. He said he would zip around the GT3s, Porsches all day long over at Willow Springs.
I think the M3s are similar in that they're just higher.
BMWs are also like E46 especially. E92s are pretty good, very good cars too. Anyway, but again, it's not a stock car though. They're
they're heavily modified.
Yeah.
Yes, they're heavily modified.
If you
so
think
very lightweight, right?
But we were talking about more of a production versus
of
production
course,
car, right?
Of course.
Because you can make any car a supercar, 1,000 horsepower car.
Yep.
I could build a car that could beat the ZR1 right now, right? Yeah. But it's modified. Of course you can.
Do it.
No.
All right, so let's go back into what I started saying was about the electric cars. Now, time-wise, Plaid takes a lot of these cars, right?
Yes.
Lucid Sapphire takes even the Plaid.
Yes. Lucid Sapphire looks to me like a crushed sandwich.
It's totally like I always say it looks like a Buick. Like it would be the Buick.
Back end, right?
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a Buick, right?
Right.
Which is Grandpa's car, right?
Roof. Yeah.
It's a cool car.
It is a very luxurious car. And Buicks, when they used to come out, they were kind of like right under a Cadillac, right?
Yeah, Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
But I think electric cars should be versed against other electric cars. You can't put those two together.
Right, but then how do those get in the
I think they
supercar?
have their own category.
What about like the Rimac Navara?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Rimac Navara. The Rimac Navara just smokes
that thing's
everything.
$2 million.
Whatchamacallit?
Does that in itself bring it into supercar?
Supposedly, what's his face? Luka Doncic, whatever his name has a.
Luka?
I don't know about that car. What car is that?
Oh, dude, it's built in Croatia to top it off.
Yeah, Rimac Navara is built by the same. I think the Bugatti owner of Bugatti.
No, I think it's the fastest car all around vehicle right now, and it's built in Croatia.
But it's full electric.
Full electric, yeah.
Full electric, it smokes everything.
Yeah,
of course.
No, but it's not. Doesn't look like a Lucid or Plaid.
But is it a street car?
Yes.
Like, can you drive that on a daily basis like a Lucid?
It's more of a production car than.
It looks like the Ford GT.
But it's a $2 million car, right? So that in itself limits its ability to attainability.
Speaking of EVs, one of the things that I think Porsche made a mistake on, just going back to that real quick, and where they lost their numbers, they way overpriced the Taycan. Way overpriced the vehicle.
Oh, yeah, they lost as soon as you drive off the lot. You lost like 50%.
Yes, I mean they thought, okay, we're Porsche, we could price it super high, not realizing their competition on EVs are a lot lower. A lot lower for better reliability, utility.
But I think it looks better.
I agree with you. But it's the EV consumer mind that goes, why am I getting an EV? I'm getting it for convenient reliability, getting from point A to point B, and budget.
They're going after the Porsche enthusiasts. Since you're a Porsche enthusiast and you want an EV car, you don't want a Tesla.
Okay.
Take our. Here you go.
No, I agree.
You're still in the Porsche family.
So I agree with you. So I think the perfect customer, which aren't that many, is somebody who has a 911, other Porsche, and wants a Taycan as well because loves Porsche, but wants an EV for the regular long
daily
commutes.
driver.
Yeah, daily driver, and I love the Porsche brand, but I still have my 911, or I have my Macan, or I have my gas
Turbo
car.
S? Their numbers are impressive. They're B Plaids.
Well, guess why they beat the Plaid? Because they gutted it. They got rid of the rear seats. Okay, let's get rid of the rear seats on our.
Well, they have a production car that's like a
YSAC.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the YSAC.
It's like but it's very expensive.
What is that?
Expensive. Yeah,
what's a YSAC?
The YSAC is you can better.
It's like a handling package.
I'm not gonna explain YSAC.
Lightweight. It's like a lightweight package. They have like a carbon fiber roof, a lightweight hood.
Strip the weight out.
Yeah, but they replace it from factory with lightweight stuff on the car. That's what it's called. YSAC
get this,
package.
nothing, as a footnote to this conversation about Porsche, tell everybody what we were talking about earlier about the T3 RS and the plastic pieces and the controversy with that.
So, yeah, sure. Today we did a video shoot with the ZR1. We went to
Autotopia. Great guy.
Autotopia. We're awesome guy.
Autotopia.
Yeah. And what he does, his main thing is that he stores cars. He had a couple of GT3 RSs. We pulled his car in there, and then we were just talking. And he pointed out that what I'm disappointed about Porsche making this car about $380,000 plus another $100,000 over sticker, and there's plastic pieces on the car.
And I've heard that before.
The front bumper, the grills, like the fins on the hood. The whole hood's carbon fiber, but it's all plastic. It's like, why would you make it plastic? We looked at the ZR1.
Yeah.
Everything's fucking carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Everything. So it's like,
so
okay.
they cheaped out.
But why?
No,
there has to be a reason because Porsche won't cheap out on anything.
Yeah.
There
is it weight or is it efficiency?
I think it's weight. And I think if you're tracking the car, it's easy to replace those pieces.
I do agree with that. If you do damage it, I believe that those are cheaper than buying a whole new carbon fiber piece. Maybe that's why. Then I thought to myself, okay, well, once you have an option, How many GT3 RS customers are tracking their car? 5%?
Right.
10%? You know, how about the other ones? Like, you know what? I'm more of a cars and coffee guy, but I want that carbon fiber look. Do a premium Porsche. You'll do it $50,000 to do everything carbon fiber. People will buy
it.
it.
We saw at the car show. You seen it? We talked about it. The one with the.
Oh, that was my favorite car in that whole
red,
show,
yeah,
dude.
the red. The
had
red
like
carbon
a
fiber
red carbon
paint.
fiber.
It was a 992.
A body,
dude.
dude.
The 992. Yeah, haven't you seen it? Oh, the 992 with carbon fiber.
It was for sale. They wanted $750 for it.
What car was this?
It's a 992. It's
Is
a
it a
992.
factory built car?
No.
No,
it's
The body kit.
Yeah.
It was a body kit.
Oh,
They
okay.
took the body off and replaced it with
It
a
has
full
all the
carbon fiber body.
GT3 RS types
It was
of
sick, dude. The
moldings,
color was
but
insane.
everything was carbon fiber, no plastic, and it's a red carbon fiber.
$750,000.
Yeah,
That's what the guy
Would you
wanted.
buy it if you had the money?
No,
I would.
You would.
Well,
Yeah.
no. I mean, if the money, if you had the money.
Would you rather buy that or a let's just say a
Revuelto?
SF90 or a Revuelto?
SF80. No, SF90, SF90 Revuelto. Yeah,
That's hard,
the SF90 is a gorgeous car.
especially because those are probably like 300,000 less, right?
No,
No,
No.
they're
Oh.
about six. They're
Well,
480 to
SF90. What is that? Yeah, 480.
That's the hybrid version of the Ferrari, about
Right.
1,100 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower, something like
Yeah. So you're still like a couple $100,000 less, right?
So
The
at that point-
SF90, not
At
the
that point, it becomes a
Revuelto.
personal price. Well, I think that Porsche, although it was
that. I think they're the
gorgeous,
same price. If not, maybe a little.
They're right around 500.
SF90 might be. Yeah, I just saw some. Yeah.
SF90. Well, they dropped. If you're going to use them, they
did drop,
appreciate-
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, really?
Allegedly, the performance numbers aren't there to match the price, and so.
But again, see,
I know.
You ask.
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
does-
you know
do
what
you
that-
care about the performance or
Yeah.
do you?
I wonder, like, if eventually that's not going to hit the market though, where people are like, "Hey, listen, beautiful car, I get it, I love it, but the numbers aren't there." So,
Yeah.
like, I just want a little bit of a discount. You know
My
what I mean?
$300,000 ZR1 could smoke your $1 million SF90, and the guys are going to say, "I don't care. I have a Ferrari
Yeah,
SF90."
yeah.
Right. Okay.
You
That's
see
a
what I-
hard. That's a hard point
Yeah,
right there,
that's
dude, right?
it. At the end of the day, that's how it is.
And the conversation.
That's it.
Yeah, and so for me with the SF, because I could wing it possibly, and my wife would kill me if I did it, but an SF90 Revuelto, that kind of stuff. But for the money, it just wouldn't make sense.
I wouldn't
to
do
me.
it because the batteries, you're going to get new batteries for it.
Oh
where
yeah,
you're going to
just-
charge it.
Yeah,
and
exactly. So with the hybrid, powertrain stuff like that.
Does the hybrid you still plug in, right?
plug-in hybrid, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
So
then
it's
you're
good.
not getting away with like a
regeneration
Yeah.
hybrid, that kind of stuff. So I don't see it. But for example, let's say the 992. So my next car, when it gets to 992 used, from 2021 or above, I won't pay for a new one. I don't need a new one. I'm fine with getting a same body style, similar to 2021 up and above, probably around 200K or so, that kind of stuff, fully fine. And then modify it with with Raffi and stuff, have some fun with it. So again, it's a personal preference. But
Correct.
like the ZR1, it was worth every penny that I paid for it.
Is it the clientele base too, though? I mean, does one appeal to because you know what we
It's
all have.
individuality, man.
Yeah.
It depends what you want at the end of the day.
What I'm saying is like that. We all like in our mind like the Countach. When I grew up, dude, there was two cars on my
Have
wall.
you driven the Countach?
No,
Sucks.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
new one?
but
The
you're
new one?
talking
Does
no.
it?
No.
We're
yeah,
talking
the
like
other one, yeah.
80 something, right?
That's what I had a red Testarossa and a white Countach on my
Right, on my wall, yeah.
on my wall.
Don't you have one for sale? I don't know. Did somebody trying to sell Testarossa? Customer I had heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he wanted way too much money for that car.
Okay.
It wasn't worth it. But I had the same cars. The Countach, I'm sorry, the Testarossa drove way better than the Countach. It's like, have you ever driven the DeLorean?
No.
It's
But
a V.
I heard
That's a
it time-
V6 car,
but I
right?
heard
It's a
time-
Volvo. It sucks, man. It
But it
doesn't
can
go.
time travel.
You're right. 88. Once you get to
You get
88 miles an hour in about 15 minutes,
exactly.
you could go places.
It'll take it to 2015 or was it
But yeah,
2018?
but the nostalgia, the car, the Fast and the Furious, it's like, wow, that's what you're buying that car for. Not because it could do 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds, or in this case, 10 or 15 seconds. It's like, wow, look at that car. Well, as soon as you see the DeLorean, what do you think about Fast and Furious?
And
I'm sorry.
It was the first aluminum body car too.
Back to the Future. I don't know what to say.
Right.
Back to the Future, right? That's you know what I mean. The Countach.
Flux
cocaine.
capacitors.
What do you
The
see?
DeLorean,
Flux,
you think of cocaine as
cocaine.
And what?
No, DeLorean.
But
you
in
think
the
of
John
Countach,
DeLorean.
what
Yeah,
do you
they
think
got
about?
busted.
John DeLorean.
Yeah, John DeLorean.
Yeah.
What
What's
do
that?
you-
Countach Cannonball Run.
But Cannibal Run, exactly.
Yeah.
But cocaine, that's how you got the money.
Yeah, that's how you got the money for it, right?
That's how you got the money for
Yeah,
it.
that's
Dude,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the Countach, what do you think about the Cannibal Run
Yeah.
with the two hot,
The two
beautiful
hot
ladies?
chicks, yeah.
Oh yeah. With I can't remember his name.
Look how he described the beautiful ladies. The two hot, beautiful ladies.
But that's the poster.
That's the memory, dude.
That's the memory.
And I remember
Core
being
memories,
a kid,
my friend.
being 13, 14 years old, and seeing that poster
yeah.
on the wall, and there was that going on the wall.
Farrah Fawcett lying on the hood of a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know.
Or the Thing movie, with the trader, the stock car trader with they did
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. Remember
On the white Lambo.
on the white
that was
Countach.
that Countach, yeah.
Yeah. See,
And he trashes the car.
he thought he didn't trash it, but
Getting
I
back-
drove home perfectly fine.
Getting back real quick to like people, it's a Ferrari, whatever. I remember being at Raffi's shop the other day, and he's working on. I think it was a very expensive. Was it a Modena? The Modena that you were working on?
Oh, Challenge Stradale.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we're talking about it, and it's
$500,000 car now.
What year is it?
03.
03. Okay, so we're talking. I go, wow, and it's got thin wheels. The horsepower's not there. And I go, so what is it with this car? And he goes, it's a museum piece. You're buying a museum.
That's a
piece.
collector's car now.
Yeah.
You know, and
510 horsepower
Yeah.
or 515 horsepower, something like that, whatever the case is.
what's that car
It's not
that?
even a good track car.
What's his name?
It is, but it's outdated now.
Yeah.
Compared
yeah.
to what the cars are out now.
Yeah.
James Dean
Back in
car,
the day,
right? James Dean was that
Porsche.
9
Or
Porsche?
the Speedster.
Yeah,
Sports
but with 9 something or
550,
whatever.
I think it was. So 550 or something like that.
Yeah,
Whatever it was.
like
yeah.
that car. If you get one of those original stock, like those things are bucks, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's because they have that nostalgia. But if you drive it
You're
around, it's
buying
like
the nostalgia.
that thing's
You're
fast
not
as a
buying from
Honda
0 to
Civic.
60.
Yep.
Yeah. You're
Like,
not buying that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now listen, the next question here. Is the gap between European exotics and American performance cars closing because of engineering or software?
They're always close.
they're always close.
They've
Yeah,
always been close.
I have been watching some of those, and like the
But
Corvette is,
It
and
just,
they've
it
always
just
been
never,
racing.
They
Yeah.
just never really pay attention to it because it's still a Mustang. It's still a Corvette. It's still a Camaro. Who cares?
It never beats it.
So
No,
At
but
least
they're
not
up
in-
there.
yeah, at least not in value, though.
They're all up there if they're fast as they are,
I
or
got
they're
one-
faster, but they don't pay attention to it because.
I got a question though, because like a Corvette here, you don't have to pay tariffs because it's built obviously in this country.
Right.
If you get a car from Italy, you get a car from England, you got to bring it in here, and you pay 25% tariff, right?
Right.
Now that raises the price in itself right there. So let's just say you have a car that's like a Corvette ZR1, stickers like 220, right? If you take that out of the state, it's going to cost those people $300,000, right? As opposed to over there, if you buy a $400,000 car here, how much of that is tariff?
Here.
Yeah, if you get a Ferrari,
a sticker on a Ferrari, I believe. Please fact check me on this. Is like $300,000 beginning starting
right?
from
Where,
a
there or
base
here?
here,
Okay.
like
you
a 296.
but what is it
whatever
there,
the
though?
base. It doesn't matter though. Tariffs just happen.
What I'm saying is like is it easier to get a car if you
No,
lived
that's-
in Italy? Is the car
Ship it
cheap?
out.
Is the car
do
as
you
expensive
think
to you as a
someone in
Porsche?
Italy is going to buy a Corvette to drive in Italy, or is it, first of all, either way, they have to be rich, right?
Right,
No matter what.
right.
That's
So
you.
money's not the factor.
Yeah, money's not a factor. So what they're going to say? I'm in Italy. Am I going to drive an Italian car? Or am I going to drive an American car?
That's a good question, dude.
Italian car, 100%.
I would agree with you because I was in Italy and I didn't see any damn Corvettes running around.
Well, okay, so
Because it's not worth for them to spend the money on the tariffs, the 25%, whatever the case is, to get a
I
Corvette.
don't know that number, but like
We're just throwing out the number. Whatever number. It's like, for 10 or 15 grand more, I could get a freaking Ferrari.
there's one caveat.
Well, that's kind of like the same thinking Mario's got.
I met with an enthusiast yesterday, and I wish he seemed like he had a reputable background, but he told me that the ZR1 is the number one demand exotic. Over there, it's exotic. In Europe, you can't get it. It's very limited. And so, because of the numbers at Nürburgring and the lot of the
So it
hype
got
behind
attention over
it,
there?
Yes, so it's got attention out there, so people want it. Dubai. So my dealership has a ZR1X. A client that has a Dubai business that wants a ZR1X. To be able to take out there, probably put in the garage or whatever, that kind of stuff.
Put one of those big license plates on it.
Exactly.
That's worth, I guess, a lot of money.
But
oh my
again,
God, that's
because
ridiculous.
now
Number
it's funny.
1 or
so
2.
it's not exotic here.
Yeah, right.
But in any other country, it is. And so, because it's limited demand,
Maybe that's what's going to change, though. I mean, could that be something new a new phenomenon?
So what you're saying is whatever is, like, for us is normal, like a Camaro or a Corvette, might be a supercar
Or exotic
overseas
over there.
or exotic over there because they never see it.
Right.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Because it's rare, right?
Yeah.
Is the rarity,
Yes,
the
that's a huge role.
the inability to
Rarity
get it?
drives the price up, and hence hypercar.
Yeah.
Rarity makes it an exotic. It's an exotic.
But
You
that's
can't see it.
That's another thing to talk about because, okay, cool. Like, again, in Germany, would I get a Porsche, a Mercedes, a BMW, or a Camaro, Corvette,
No,
Ford,
but
Mustang?
You're
whatever
an
the case is?
American. You wouldn't. You would buy. European car out there because you're.
But we're in America. We're getting German cars.
No, of course. But if you're a European and you've never had one, and it's very rare to get one, and you keep seeing.
It's very hard to get one.
They're hard to get one. Very hard to get one. And you're seeing all these numbers and specs and videos or whatever, people driving them, and it's blowing everything out of the water, and it's American made. Wow, nobody has it.
That's your question.
Yeah.
Do you?
Not gay.
All right. That's
What was the question?
if he's gay or not.
Oh,
No, but I don't. But no, I don't take any offense either way. I have gay friends. Go.
Do you think your ZR1 is built same as a Ferrari, Lambo, McLaren, quality wise?
Okay, it's a good question.
Exterior, interior wise.
Engine wise, yes.
Nope. Exterior, interior wise.
Interior, no. Interior, I think there's been a lot of progression, especially with the new interior. Exterior, I think it's becoming competitive, but I do appreciate the lines on the European vehicles more. Depending, I don't care for the.
but is that styling or is that quality of build?
No, but it's also the paint, right? The paint, the styling, the quality, the flows, the lines, all that stuff, right?
So the reason I asked this question is people in Europe are also looking at that. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
If I'm getting a Corvette,
Right.
paints, whatever, interiors, whatever, compared to the cars that I could buy here, why would I spend more for less?
Because your neighbor doesn't have it, because you're very wealthy,
Right.
colleague that
Because
belongs to
everybody
the same
else
club.
has a
the other
Porsche or
ones,
Ferrari, whatever.
exactly.
So you're like
Nobody
keeping up with the
has-
Joneses
And
and
Raffi,
everything?
if I could add, and I will say this, the 2026 line has come closer than ever before to the quality of those vehicles.
I'll be honest with you, your interior looks extremely well done. Like for a McLaren, and if I go to yours and a McLaren, it's like,
Yeah,
wow, okay,
Yeah.
it looks.
Right.
They definitely stepped up from the
but
early
Porsche
years.
bar none. I mean, incredible. When I had even in 2011, when I had the Panamera Turbo, the interior to this day, I still love that interior.
Porsche interior is real nice,
Yeah, it's just incredible. And I think
and it's getting better.
Okay, so here's a question for you. So Ferrari, the SF90, love their interior, even the 296, everything up to the F8 and the dash and that little that looks like a little bucket right there in the middle for the analog.
attack,
Yeah, and then also just like an analog screen. And for those years and for that money, how are they so behind the wheel? Were they thinking the consumer doesn't care about that? About the all digital because now it's all digital, right? The 296, the
Ferrari could do no wrong.
That's why.
To be honest
Yeah.
with you, right? Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if they're wrong. Like
Yeah.
for me, the new F80 looks like shit.
Yeah.
Just again my personal opinion. You guys could
Yeah.
want me on that, but it doesn't look good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be $4.5 million.
Or even the Testarossa.
Yeah, I mean, the new
right?
Testarossa. I'm not sure what directions they're going with, but I just don't see it. Like the 458 was beautiful.
Yeah.
488 was great. F8 kind of slowly was
Yeah,
going
kinda
down.
wonky,
I
yeah.
did like the F8 rear end. I think it looks beautiful. Rear
Okay,
end.
what about the seating?
296.
Yeah.
Don't care for it one bit.
No, not at all. Not the styling.
Great performance car.
Is it?
Oh, dude, 700 some odd horsepower, dude. That thing, great performance. Performance numbers all there. Look wise, not even close.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just this is all my personal opinion.
And
I
this
don't
is
know.
all
Let's
like
say-
within the last 3 years, right? Of
and
like
I've seen
production.
on different
Five-
groups or
5
whatever,
years?
people
Okay.
getting the 296 and wanting to get rid of it almost right away.
It just
And then on
does
Vueltas,
nothing for
what
me.
I'm seeing is a lot of electrical issues. A lot of electrical
Lambos
issues.
to me,
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't really care for Lambos, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I feel like Lambos are more of a
hype?
show
Yeah,
show
yeah.
car. I have a Lambo, but there's nothing behind it.
They're sexy as hell, dude.
Yes, that's it.
And I was playing golf.
Lamborghinis will always be, to me, an exotic, sexy, beautiful car.
This is something. What
That's it.
I saw. We were playing golf.
And they sound bitching too. by the way.
Jeremiah and I were playing golf over the weekend, right? And we're on this hole, and we hear a sports car coming by, right? And it's a Lambo, and there's 3 kids, and they're on their bikes, dude.
Yeah.
And they just look at the car, and the guy revs it, "Row!" And you just see these kids. You can see the kids light up, man.
Oh,
And I told Jeremiah,
I get that going to
that's what
Starbucks.
a
I get that
Lambo's
going to-
about.
that's me
Yeah.
every day.
No car will get that kind of attention but Lambo.
Yeah, I
Okay,
said, you know what I told
I'm not
him?
lying.
I told him we'll
do.
never get that kind of love in a Tesla,
do.
bro.
No, not Tesla, except
Yeah.
from accountants and that kind of stuff. Boring
Yeah.
people. Not boring people, but people that appreciate. I kid you not, with
No
the
matter how
01,
fast, how
you know.
slow that car is,
Yeah.
that Lambo will get all the attention.
with the looks on my car, and maybe because it's American made, whatever, all the time I'm getting people doing this, want me to rev
Well,
it.
the
all that
exhaust, dude.
stuff.
But I believe on that car, once the hype goes down,
Yeah.
it will kind of disappear.
Well, we'll see when the hype goes down. But usually when the hype goes down, is around the same time I get rid of it.
which is totally fine.
Yeah,
But a Lambo, it's all exotic cars, Lambo, Ferrari, McLaren. Doesn't matter how old they are, they still have that whoa.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how time will tell in the ZR1, but I think with the ZR1 lines, and especially, again, with the mods that I've done on it, I do enjoy it in a way that I think that it'll stand the test of time to some extent. But again, we'll see. Because, again, by the time I've enjoyed this so much, the C9 will come out. And when the C9 comes out, it's obviously going to have crisper lines, all that kind of fun stuff. And then,
But you need for it to always be new to be relevant.
I hear what you're saying.
You see
Yeah,
what I
as
mean?
compared to being a museum piece or iconic. Well, okay, so for
A
example,
30, you could park a Ferrari 308 will still get like an 80s 308.
Yeah.
Still get the wow factor.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
The
But,
Magnum
for
PI
me,
one?
Yeah.
and maybe it's because I'm heavy, into being a GM fan. The C7 ZR1 to me is a gorgeous vehicle.
But do cars
Absolutely gorgeous
Agreed.
vehicle.
do cars go
the
through a
Lucas.
period where they were good, and then they go crappy, and then but then they come back up though, dude.
Viper.
Like you look at
Modified.
what's the 91 ZR1? Do you remember that car?
Yes.
I don't, but yeah.
Well, that was a very high spec
Okay.
Corvette. dude.
But that was a numbers car because it looked the same, right? If
Right.
the body is the same,
Didn't have a
but
supercharger from Callaway?
it had 12-inch wheels. It was somewhat buffed out, but you're right. It didn't.
it didn't look. If you put two Corvettes together and one was a ZR1, most people like they're two.
It
Corvettes.
was
What's the
wider in the
label? What's
back.
the
It
label?
had
Wasn't it a Callaway supercharger that it had?
No, that has
Zero?
it was a marine motor, dude. It was I worked on it before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I have a customer that has one. I forgot what I think it was a 91.
but it was
He
a
has
special motor. It was like it was some kind of a marine engine company that
it
made
is. It was some kind of a special engine that went into that car. Wasn't it well over 200 miles an hour?
I don't remember, dude.
No, before
I
it
mean,
would
obviously,
burn
I never
Okay, speaking
drove
of
it that fast.
Okay, interior quality. Before I forget,
417 miles an hour.
Oh, they were rough, dude.
One critique I've heard of the GTD is the interior pieces look like a regular Mustang. So
I believe it.
Yeah, you don't have
And
that.
400
You don't
grand,
have
dude.
the quality like you do with the ZR1. Yeah, for 400 grand, and you have this. I mean,
It's
again,
like a Huracan.
You
Huracan
could
was
see
what
the shocks
Audi
in the
is.
back.
Does it?
Oh, it's an
Yeah.
Audi. Huracan,
Yeah.
it's all an Audi because Audi owns, Porsche owns, or
Yeah.
VW owns all that stuff,
Right,
right?
right.
So they all look, my A4 or
Yeah.
my RS4, whatever the case might be.
Urus. It said Urus is just an Audi. What?
Q8.
Yeah.
RS
Yeah.
RS Q8, whatever the
Yeah,
case is.
yeah.
It's the same exact motor, by the way.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, what do you think about the R8? A lot of people love that car and don't understand why it got discontinued. Or
I
it's
think-
a Lambo, right? I mean, that's a
Well, it was a V10 car though, right? That's pretty sick.
I think R8's played out because they haven't changed really the body style for how
Yeah.
long? It's dude,
since 2008.
yeah, it's like a Porsche, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, we
We're
need
trying to hold
something-
on to that too
Yeah,
long.
they did. It's too long. You need to make an R8 again,
Yeah.
make it an R10, whatever you want to make it,
Yeah.
but make it boom,
Right,
so you
right,
come
right,
back.
right.
Because they all look the same since the 90s or what 2000s.
Well, then what happens? They start reselling. They just instead of buying new ones, they just start reselling.
It's
Same
like a
thing with
GTR.
GTR.
is
Same
it's
thing
like
with the
what-
GTR. Yeah.
Godzilla.
Dude, change the
Oh, when
body
that
style.
GTR first came out, I tried to get one. I couldn't qualify for the financing back in 2017 to do it, but I almost bought one. I mean,
You're
I
too
was
young.
I was. Well, they said that when they declined me, they go, "Mr. Jaramillo, what other vehicles have you owned that's high line like this?" So that
Are
time
you
was
serious?
yeah, that time was $115,000.
Oh.
And so they go, "I haven't yet," because they go, "I don't see on your credit that you've purchased a car of this value." I go, "I haven't." Yeah, sorry, you can't. And that's what I would have gone to GTR. I love that car. I love because at that time that was the supercar killer. That was
It's
known as it.
too plasticky.
No, I didn't like. Okay, so I didn't like the dash. I'm big on dash. Again, everybody has a different preference. For
Right,
me,
dude, I agree.
I love the dash. I love being as modern as possible. That's my thing. The dash looked like something out of the 1980s.
You think that was a Nissan coming through?
That's a Nissan problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and Nissan also going that our customers want the performance. They don't care about that.
Well, that's
the hood. It sat so high you could barely see over that hood.
that's a front engine car, right?
Yes. But you could barely see over it, and I just didn't like that either for the performance. Like for me, going that fast, I want to be able to see.
All-wheel drive too.
Yeah, all-wheel drive also.
That's a special thing.
Super
Well,
heavy.
that GTR is a heavy car.
Yeah.
Looks okay. But performance-wise, numbers-wise, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's the car.
Well, and you could heavily mod it and tune it and all
Dude,
that stuff.
and
yeah.
we haven't even gone to talking about
Have you worked
tuning
on
any of
GTRs?
these cars.
Have you worked on the GT?
Yes.
Yeah.
We never tuned them, but we did service work on.
Right.
But we haven't gone talking about tuning any of these cars,
Yeah.
right?
So then you got
tunability of it.
the factory stuff is a certain level, right? But they don't do they. How much do they leave on top for tuning? Is there
Depends
still
on the car.
room before you pop it?
Well, like GM, the Corvette, you can't break it. You can't break it open to tune it.
Like,
Yeah.
It's locked.
Like Porsche turbo cars, you could push them pretty freaking far. Like, I'll give you a great example. A 992 Turbo S, 680 horsepower stock. Before you need to get internals, you could probably get nice 900 horsepower out of them. Before you actually have to crack it to put some mods into them.
That's like 25-30% more power
But
out
what's
of it.
interesting is that
Bigger turbos, full exhaust, full intake, boom, you're there. With some meth injection in there to cool off the combustion chamber, you're right there.
Well, what's interesting, the common thing that we discuss is preference, right? So preference. So for me, I would tune and mod the hell out of it when I get a 992, but I want the reliability. I don't want the cells.
And they're reliable.
Right? Yeah.
And they're reliable.
I want to be able to drive to Trader Joe's and be able to zip it off the line or whatever. And be
Well,
okay
can you
with
do
it,
two different maps where you have like one where it's like, and then the other one like
there's
You could have a grandpa map
yeah.
right here, and then we could have going to Starbucks map.
Well, and there are people that can trailer it. There are people that literally could trailer it to Willow Springs all day long.
Yeah.
You have clients like that, right? You have clients that try.
You could do 6 different maps if you want. 101 octane, E85 octane. You want just a low boost, high boost, medium boost. You could do whatever you want with tunability. If it's a turbocharged car, you're set nowadays. Any turbo car, by the way. It could be from a Honda to a freaking Bugatti.
Okay, you can scale back the turbo.
Because the gap they leave you for you to modify the cars is pretty big. Because remember, the manufacturers, they need MPGs and they need certain COs and HCs for the smog, right? So here we go. But if we really wanted, we could punch another 5 PSI and get another 150 horsepower, but we can't because it won't pass smog. Or
That's why you gotta
our
keep your original
MPGs will
parts.
go low.
You can't do like what Audi did. Was Audi the one that did it? Volkswagen did it. Yeah.
Well, they got killed on that. On those
That was a
lawsuits, and
massive
they killed their brand
deal.
For a little while
They were
too.
producing a different map whenever.
So every time you plug in your B2, it changes the map so it can pass the smog.
Okay,
It
so
went
that actually
into a
got us to our
different
next
mode.
question. How important is aftermarket equipment today in unlocking a car's true potential? I think it's all individual preference. Right? You don't get it back reselling it. I'll tell you that.
you'll never get
Stereos,
that.
well,
You'll
like
never
let's say
get-
performance parts, but what about like entertainment stuff, like stereos and stuff?
Okay, I'll go again. For me, I used to be really huge when I was younger, in the 20s, in the radio.
Yeah.
Boom, big speakers,
Oh, yeah, we put speakers in the
W12.
trunk.
Woofers.
Oh my God, I
10
was
CD
all of
changer,
that.
10 CD
Yes,
changer, all
yes.
that stuff.
What were those
Now-
bass tubes? Remember?
Yeah, big wiggles.
bass
Oh, dude,
tubes.
I had bass. I loved bass. Now I don't care.
Yeah.
Entertainment-wise, zero.
Nothing.
I'll
I
spend
still,
all my money on aesthetics, wheels, suspension,
Yeah.
sound of the car, making more power out of it, or wrap, or some kind of a something else.
Yeah, you should see his Prius outside. It's just insane. It looks-
Beautiful.
Dropped it, lowered it.
75 horsepower.
Dogged it. Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
Okay, so I'm in the middle of it. So, for example, the Tesla and the Corvette, I think the sound system stock is perfect, absolutely perfect. It sounds great to my preference. The truck, even with the Raptor and with the Tremor, I put a several $1,000 sound system in it in the back. But because for me, I think the acoustics matter. So in a Tesla, and especially in the Corvette, it's a much smaller vehicle. I'm fine. But when you have a larger cabin like the truck, I have more to play with the sound, so that it really, really pops. It sounds like a concert experience.
Now, is that something that's an age thing now? Because is the
You
younger?
call me old, motherfucker?
Well,
Well, yes, I can't hear, so I need to increase.
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is is the next generation not so they don't like stereo so much, or they're
don't
not
know.
really into
I don't
cranking
know.
the music, because I think was all about bumping.
It's our
dude.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all pretty much similar to age,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A couple of years off from
Yeah.
here and there, but in our generation, back in the days, it was all about that.
Dude, today's
Yeah.
generation don't even care about driving.
Right. That's
You know?
You should add this on the list, because today's generation, I really don't believe
it's going to appreciate
most-
the automobile as much.
Yes.
What about when it starts
They don't
driving
appreciate it.
itself?
they don't appreciate automobiles at all.
No.
It's hard for them to connect with the automobile
Yeah.
because it's such a digital world.
Yeah.
They're in their on their phones, tablets, whatever, so much. And when we were brought up, it was all about connection with the car, with the vehicle. You felt it. You know what I mean? It was in you, like your soul. Now it's like, program it, take me home, click.
Well,
Jump back on your phone.
I think
You
it
back
also.
on the phone, that's it.
I
They
think
don't care about how it sounds, what kind of power it makes, what kind of numbers it makes
Yeah.
at 0 to 60,
Yeah.
quarter mile. They're like, what is that? Who cares?
I also think it
Nobody
depends on
cares about
demographic. I think out here where we live, at least the younger generation that I've met, guys, for example. I mean, I don't really talk to women about cars. Not many out there that you see that appreciate like that. So does it have 6 seats, 7 seats, whatever? But for guys, the younger guys I've talked to, mainly what I've seen is they love trucks out here. So trucks and hit the dirt, go to Glamis, take the trails,
Bikes,
live,
dirt bikes.
dirt bikes.
Yeah.
So again, it's utility for them. What I'm not seeing, and I think what you and I have already experienced with our kids, and I don't think Raffi's kids are old enough yet, is that nobody's rushing at age 16 to go get their driver's license.
You know what, though? My kids are.
Oh, they are? Well, how old are your kids?
13 and 10.
Oh, and they can't wait?
Yeah, Grace, my daughter, she's
already like, give me the keys?
She's excited. She's excited to drive.
They've
Okay.
also grown up in a vehicle for
Well,
car
so
family,
they grow up
right?
with me
Yeah.
where their whole
Yeah.
life. And Enzo wants the Fast and Furious car, the Supra. That's his
Oh.
favorite car.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
He loves
Is
that
it
car.
that? Which
Yeah.
one was the Supra? Was that the orange one?
Dude,
And-
Yes,
come
the
on,
orange
you
one,
know
yeah.
which one
Yeah.
is it? The one that they botched when they did the.
You bought me a
retail?
10-second car. This is it right here. It's all burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
Supra.
so what do you think about the new Supras? I mean, I think that was a bad.
Well, that's a BMW motor.
Yeah, but I mean, what they could have done with it to take when the old Supra.
But again, great
Yeah.
performance car.
yeah.
And you could highly modify those cars a lot.
Really? Okay.
A lot.
Okay.
To get even like double the performance out of them. So
Looks
that's
like a
kind of
helmet.
yeah.
Looks like a helmet to me. It looked like
It's
Which car are we talking about?
okay. So you know
The
the
Supras,
okay,
Toyota
the
Supra.
Fast
Toyota
and
Supra,
Furious
okay.
Supra,
Yeah.
which I think the Fast and Furious franchise helped reboost, pun intended, the Supra.
well, you know how much
Why,
those I couldn't find anything cheaper than 70 grand.
What right now?
What
Yeah.
year is it?
Yeah.
The new one?
They stopped at
97.
Oh, the
really? That's when they
97
stopped.
Supra.
That's
You're
when they
talking about
stopped.
like the one where you're like, you're going to blow the welds off the manifold.
That's an Eclipse.
That's an Eclipse? All right.
Which was that was a badass
Wrong car, wrong race,
Eclipse? You're
that was a,
bringing
that
up
was
an
a badass.
Eclipse?
That's a
I just
badass
remember
car,
they
too.
were doing a race. And remember Vin Diesel
Yes.
tells
Do
them
you remember
about
the
it.
one that I think it's a Mark II or 3? No, it's 1, 2.
An
It might be
Eclipse,
3.
dude.
But anyway,
Yeah, it was an
the-
all-wheel drive Eclipse.
Hey,
Yeah,
Everyone.
how much is that Ferrari worth?
Renault Fuego next? You know
what?
that?
You know what he
Renault
said?
Fuego?
I don't know what
When he
the hell
said, how much is that retail one of those? He said, you can't afford a PAL. Remember the black Ferrari he raced, the 355 Spider?
that was. Oh, yeah. It was,
On PCH with the orange Toyota Supra? That's the Supra.
yeah, when he jumped in the
And
middle.
also at the end, the Charger versus the Supra with the train.
oh, when
They jumped it. You're fired, bro.
The Charger where that popped the wheelie.
Yes. He
Yes.
raced it.
I remember. Sorry, I had to go back,
right.
dude.
Next question here: can suspension, brakes, aero, and tires matter more than horsepower when it comes to lap times?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. Yep.
And, yeah. 100%.
Well, lap. You're talking lap. You're talking about a
You
track.
can have a 1,000 horsepower car
yeah.
that
Demon.
someone.
Put a demon on the track.
No, just a
You're
regular.
in the bushes, dude.
ZR1. You have a novice driver of a ZR1, and then you get a professional driver. We're just only doing driver now on a regular car. I guarantee that regular guy, that professional driver will catch up and beat that car. And then once you add the modifications
I
to
heard
it,
some guy, and I've never driven an M3, but for some reason, I saw this one guy, and he loved an M3. Like, just the feedback on an M3, and that's a front engine car. But
Correct.
going around the track, they love that car.
I have an M3 and I have an E46 race car, and that the way they grip, it builds very good confidence. So I could just go fast and just throw it, and it'll grip and go. That's why they're built so good. Mine's an E46 M3. The grip on that car, the level on that car, compared to my GT3 is like, I feel like the M3 is way better.
Wow.
Well, that's saying a lot because
Yeah.
Porsche is known for that, right?
But my M3 is fully modified compared to my stock GT3. But still,
Okay.
there's
GT3
something to say.
stock?
Yeah.
The exhaust sounds.
That's it.
Modified.
You
They
see,
did modify the exhaust.
see modifications. If you want to go back to the modifications, it's very hard to modify a naturally aspirated car.
Got it.
Exhaust you
Yeah.
could do.
Yeah.
Intake you could do. A reflash you could do. And gain what? 25, 30 horsepower. And you
Well,
s-
I gained
And a
close to
K&N air
100 with
filter.
Mine. Why is it
on his car,
Yeah.
if you do straight pipes,
Yeah.
down pipes, let's just say,
Yeah.
we're just thinking out loud, a map, 150, 200 horsepower.
It'd be insane.
Like that.
Because of the turbo.
He's got 76 millimeter turbos on his car.
Yeah, that's
Largest
a huge,
production turbo.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to put, that's how easy it is to modify a turbo car.
Wow.
Reflash, exhaust, 100 horsepower.
So it's not limited because it's turbos on a naturally aspirated engine. Doesn't limit it. Because mine is a Z06 engine with twin turbos. So Z06 engine is naturally aspirated. So isn't mine naturally aspirated with twin turbos?
no, but they also rebuilt the internal so have a little lower compression
Oh,
too, so you
really?
could have more boost.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is that the boost pressure is the biggest thing and also heat. The cooler the combustion chamber is, the more boost you could apply to the car.
Okay.
That's why they have methanol injection.
Got it.
What
Okay.
that does is it sprays like a little. mist into the combustion chamber, or actually into the intake.
Yeah.
It cools that down.
Got it.
Because the hotter it gets, it starts knocking. When it starts
got
knocking, it retards the timing.
Goes
it takes
in limp
all the
mode,
power.
in a sense? Yeah.
It takes all the power away from
Got
the
it,
car. Then
got it.
all that power is gone.
Got it.
But what happens is that when you spray that little mist in there, cools that combustion chamber down.
Do
You
you
can
hear
dial
the
up
mist?
your
Is that
boost.
where you hear the psh?
No, you don't have that now.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
aftermarket, by the way.
Got it. Okay, okay.
That's what a lot of people like E85. E85 keeps the combustion chamber cooler.
Got it. Makes sense.
That means you can run more boost.
Got it. Okay. Let's see. Next question. How has digital software changed the way cars gain performance compared to traditional mechanical upgrades?
I think that's exactly what he's talking about with the mapping thing.
That's true.
So the digital, like you can just reprogram something.
Even what he just talked about with the turbos and the cooling. That's all software.
But it's
all
hacking
software.
too, right? Because you're like what you're saying, where General Motors, their software isn't hackable yet. But eventually, you're going to get somebody that's going to
Because
figure out how to
Lambo
hack it.
all the manufacturers, you can't hack them until the time passes,
you hack
until they crack
Yeah.
it, and then they
So
start.
the aftermarket gets the
Aftermarket
guys
world,
in
yeah.
there and starts.
start
catching up.
reflashing it, and add more fuel, boost,
Now,
timing.
let's see.
Well, you know what? Like a lot of these cars now, they're giving them, like they say you don't have heated seats, but there are heater grids in the seats. They're just not turned on.
Interesting.
If you go in there and you activate,
and you
heated
pay for
seats.
and you pay for the yeah.
What? So they're out of the
What-
manufacturer.
it
They're
comes
already
with all
BMW,
that
right?
stuff,
Was it
huh?
BMW that does that?
well, Tesla does it.
Yeah, I think there's some manufacturers now. The cars, I think they come like fully loaded.
Yeah.
But since you didn't pay for it, everything's off. Once you start paying for it,
Yeah. Here you go.
It's
Boom.
on.
Yeah.
on what do you want?
Yeah,
You want
yeah,
self-driving too? On
Well, yeah, like Tesla, dude. Self-driving's a big thing, right?
$100 a month,
It
right?
has the same hardware, same software.
Yeah, you're right. Well, here's what's funny about Tesla. Tesla being one of the foremost, the pioneer of the best technology or whatever. We've talked about this ever. How is it that you don't have, your signal, your lane change, warnings or whatever? You have the little camera thing
In
on
the mirror?
dash. Yeah, but in the mirror, which is the most important thing that you need to know that somebody's next to you, is that little signal in the mirror, the little light, or the bird's eye view. How do you not? Or even better yet, not until the recent years, editions about the front parking camera. How do you not have that in the most advanced vehicle out there? That's full self.
That's hardware, though, right? Because you don't have a light bulb in
why
your
wouldn't
mirror
you
and you
even
don't have a
think about
camera
that?
up there.
It might be both. It might be hardware and software.
Yeah, those are specific examples of hardware
Yeah.
that doesn't exist.
It's because
that's not on there.
maybe not enough people complained about it for them to make a change.
I just think they came up with so many other things that were innovational, like innovative that they didn't like.
They thought it wasn't needed till.
Because technically, whoever has Teslas, you're all testing their cars. Like, okay,
Yeah,
Yep,
they're
you're right.
putting
You're
all the-
sending data. You're sending data.
data.
there's nothing to it. There's
data.
like 2 screens, the wheel,
But
some
they also want
window
Very
switches,
minimalist.
and-
yeah.
But remember,
that's
they
it.
also take data off how you're driving.
yeah.
It.
right?
How much brake pressure you're using, gas
To some
pressure.
extent, how you're reacting, your facial
You're reacting.
expressions.
Yeah.
Well, there's a
There's
camera
a
inside. They
recording
didn't put
here.
one in the front, but they put it inside.
Yeah. Okay, so the flip side of it, why haven't other gas cars taken, Tesla's example, you could charge a premium for it to have the security system that it has, the surround cameras all over the place. That's
Pricing,
incredible.
manufacturing pricing.
Is that,
It's
but
gonna-
even
it's
but
gonna
you
cost more money.
Well, you know
make
what?
it an option. I'd pay
Even if
for it.
it's electric, right,
Yeah.
or gas, you could still add all the cameras. You can still add full self-driving. You can. Why hasn't a manufacturer done that? Taking a gas engine car, and then it created all the innovation that Tesla has, because Tesla's electric, right?
Yeah.
Fast, and very minimalist. But why hasn't a gas manufacturer been able to kind of capture that same model?
Let's say you.
Is you talking about for the safety aspect of it?
Well, I mean, yes, that too, right? Well, there's 2 things with safety. With Tesla, the battery's on the ground, so it keeps the low center of
Super
gravity,
heavy though.
right?
Super heavy.
Yeah, but it's very low,
Yeah.
so it's hard to flip that car. Like, and all the crash test safety data is really good on it because it doesn't flip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the motors are in the front and the back, so it again keeps it low.
Right.
But
The weight distribution is pretty
so
good. In other words.
safety, that's one thing, but like safety with the cameras and safety with the full self-driving, and that's another thing. But I think we're going to run into an era where these cars are all going to be full self-driving, and I think that's coming, dude. And that's
in the next 10 years.
yeah.
You know what's coming before that?
What?
You know what I think people are going to be talking about, instead of talking about what car you drive or what kind of modifications you did? In the next 5 years, watch, people are going to start talking about, hey, so I saw that robot you posted. What robot model's that? I have this robot.
Well, I went to the
robots.
Tesla diner, dude, and
Yeah.
I got videos of those.
And think about it, because
It's
they'll
only
make, they'll
4
make
years
before
difference.
And you're going to be able to modify your robot.
Yes. So think about it. Think about
I'm
it.
being
You
serious.
Do it
you
some
can
mods
now
on it?
travel.
Oh, 100%.
You can
Different
travel-
clothes, different.
Right.
different the way it acts, speaks.
You're a rapid robot.
Home
hands.
security.
Dude, you're gonna be able to modify your robot
Yes.
from what you bought it like you do a car. I'm telling you, there's gonna be you want to modify your robot?
It's gonna kill the blow up doll business. Okay, out there.
You could facial whatever you want. Facial you want to put
No,
on
but
there.
think about it. Like for
I'm gonna put Mario's on that. Mine.
Perfect. Everybody has different. They have you molded my ass. No, everybody has different needs for robots. So for me, for example, what comes to mind right away, and the money that I would spend on it, home security. Like that robot's up all the time, watching the house, whatever. I'm not home on time, feeding the dogs, letting the dogs out, whatever. I'm away. If people are away traveling, you're monitoring the house.
The robot's gonna be.
No, it's gonna be incredible.
Great.
Yeah.
I will buy 100%.
Oh, big time, big time. I will, and again, just like
I have a robot Roomba or the robot whatever that cleans the floors.
vacuum?
that company
It
just filed
vacu-
bankruptcy. Right. Yeah.
They
You can
vacuum.
fix
It
it
vacuums
yourself.
and it mops them. And
Oh, that-
it
yeah,
comes
I've
out
seen that.
incredible. When we come home,
He just likes the suction hole that it has on it.
It does. It has
his wife's
3.
Wife's
It-
yeah, exactly. 2 in the thing. One in the thing. Okay, so
Easy, bro. Keep it somewhat PG at least.
no, but seriously, think about it. I mean, for the money, I'd rather, and I could test it. I will test this now. I'll spend more money on a robot than I would on my cars because of the utility.
How much is a robot worth? 20, 30?
I think they're gonna. I think the starting prices for those are gonna be around. They want to mass produce and do again testing the market. You want to see how the robots work. Et cetera,
you're gonna pay
et cetera.
monthly. It's gonna be a monthly
Yeah.
subscription.
Yeah.
You think so? Yeah.
100%.
Well,
The
I
lease
think it makes sense
robot
to
versus-
like not sell them, lease them.
You could get them
That's
back
exactly
and
what it's gonna be.
make it
You're
Because
gonna
that's
pay
what they
X
did with
amount
all the
amount.
electric cars, right?
Yeah,
Initially.
what they're gonna do is
Right.
every month you're gonna pay a subscription, and if you want a better updated version, you're gonna pay more for it,
Yeah.
of course. And it's
Over
gonna be
the air
just like
updates,
cars. The rich will have the badass
Yeah.
gold plated, whatever the case might be, that does flips and everything. And the middle class will have theirs, and then I don't know if the lower class will have anything. At the end of the day,
I think they will.
I think at some point, right?
I think they will. Just like how, let's say, using Tesla as an example, just how Tesla, appealed to
used,
the broad
and they'll have a
spectrum,
used market.
used
too.
market or just an intro market, because even an intro robot would have
iRobot was a great movie.
would have a high utility. Would have a
Scary
high
as hell,
utility.
but
It's
Well,
about
okay,
it's
so-
all about who programs it.
Okay.
If you give the robots their own mind, we're fucked.
Yeah, you got to be able to.
Because they're gonna program themselves kill the
You
humans.
got to be able to. Turn it
but that's AI, right?
Build-
That's where
build-
we're at now.
Yeah.
Yeah, AI is a whole different world.
Look, I never thought in my lifetime. I was born in 1960.
AI is gonna replace this guy right here.
Well, no, AI helps my profession. So what's becoming now is I service
It's
AI.
it's people that don't understand it are going to be replaced by it. I think in every business, every industry, people that don't know how to leverage it
Look,
are going to be replaced by it.
And not in so many years have I had so many inquiries of people having me review severance packages because their job has been replaced by AI. And so
Wow.
reviewing their severance, and what I feel bad for is that these are individuals that have dedicated their career to helping out a company or what have you, et cetera, and they basically have engineered themselves out of a job.
I get real estate questions now.
Yeah.
When they're talking,
You
I
tell
can
it- you tell
tell
us ChatGPT.
they chat
They-
GPT
yeah.
the hell out
Yeah.
of these questions, and they're
He
asking me. They
sends
have a
me-
list of questions.
Screenshots of ChatGPT. that he has questions, and then I'm like,
No, but what's crazy is ChatGPT gets to know you and goes, "All right, dude, Raffi's right on this. Okay, here's how it goes. Here's how it works."
it learns off of your
it learns
questions.
off of
Yeah.
your
Everything,
personality.
everything.
So AI is here to stay.
And I use it. I use it a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I use AI a lot.
So here's for my profession, I think for many it's malpractice to not use AI, and it's malpractice to use AI because it depends on how you use it. In my profession, a lot of attorneys have gotten in trouble because they take AI as an absolute, and so whatever it spits out, they submit it to the court, they submit it as Bible, etc. And it's not. You have to verify it. So not since the advent of AI, for example, for me, have I ever learned so much about law. Never, because now AI has made it easier for me to dive into new areas of law. So, but what I do that's different is that when I use AI as a starting point, whatever, it's research for me. I use it to verify.
I think one thing. Okay, like there's a huge thing with AI that pertains to humans making a mistake versus a machine making a mistake. I don't think they're held at the same level. If a machine makes a mistake, it gets killed. If a human makes a mistake, there's a degree of forgiveness. There's some empathy to it. But like the car accidents, right? If a car crashes while you're driving it and it crashes, they're gonna kill Tesla, sue Tesla, like it's the end of the world. And then they stop these programs and Teslas. I think that's really why full self-driving hasn't come to light. But let me
I mean,
finish.
autonomous driving.
Yeah, autonomous driving, right? But like how many humans
good?
drive around cars, right? And they crash. We crash all the time in cars. But we're forgiven to some
See,
extent.
that's the statistics I want to know.
When will that tipping point happen?
What's the percentage of, let's say, Tesla crashing because they actually malfunction to humans crashing because they were humans.
Right.
Like
Well-
it's like 5% compared to 75%.
Here are hypothetical.
So that means a robot driving is a lot better, because if I was driving in that situation, I would have been died, but we're all good now, for example, right?
Right.
Because we're humans, we make mistakes. We either get distracted, we drink and drive, we do all the stuff that puts us in a situation where, holy shit, we shouldn't be in. Robot does not. They glitch. And how often do they glitch for you to be screwed at the end of the day? Well, what's the percentage of that?
Well,
crashes.
well, like think about a ladder, right? If a ladder's in the middle of the road,
Right.
you see it, the Tesla sees it. Which one could react better? And can you program one better to? Can you program the Tesla to do
What they're saying
it?
is currently the Tesla, if you have the hardware 4, or at least I believe,
Hardware or software?
So what happens with Tesla is that there's a delineation between the ability for full self-driving to work to its full potential if you have hardware 4 or hardware 3. So I didn't know this. I got lucky in that when I bought my Tesla, just coincidentally, it was late 2023 and it came with hardware 4. So they're saying that hardware 4 is the one that's going to allow for full autonomous driving. So you have hardware 3.
Well, yeah, and the reason that it is that is because hardware 3, it has like, our cameras come with a bit more megapixels every year, right? It has less megapixels, and then the processor speed is slower. So it's not able to process as much information as fast as it's coming, right? So basically, the newer one is faster, and it could see the ladder. It's probably it's smarter in a sense, right? It's smarter and it has better sight.
I have friends that told me with FSD that saved their lives. Like you start getting sleepy and it moves around an object right away.
These are the statistics I want to see, like that. You're falling asleep because we make mistakes. Like a human.
Yeah.
Okay, how many lives do you think Tesla has saved, realistically?
Oh, I think agree.
I don't think they get any real credit for that. I think they get credit for every mistake,
No,
but not
mistakes.
every.
They go, I was in self-driving and hit a car in front of me. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I think agree.
You guys aren't talking about like apples to apples here. You know what I mean? Okay, let's say the Tesla fell asleep. Cool. It glitched. Okay, it's all good. But how many times have a human has gone in the car while they're drunk driving? Or how many times you think a person has gone in a car, they're drinking, and they're drunk, but they said, "Take me home," and it actually took them home with no issues.
Yeah.
A lot. I
That's
guarantee you a lot.
That's more responsible.
That's more responsible, right?
The downside of the technology with Tesla, and I've seen this, on groups that I'm on, is that people rely too much on technology. I've seen where people rely on the regen braking, whereas having one, and as probably you have experience driving mine, oftentimes it stops for you. Not on FSD, but it tracks the distance, and based on your speed, it'll start the regen brake will kick in, and it'll stop you at the intersection. And I've seen in groups where people have solely relied on it, they wouldn't even touch the brake, and it overextends.
Well, that's a user error.
Well, it's just a little bump. I mean, but you're doing like you just because I'll back off the throttle, and then the regen braking will stop me to a light, and then it's like kind of a game where you play where you're like just enough to you're at the light, and sometimes you go up too soon, and then sometimes you're like, oh crap, you got to mash on the brake.
That's where you get used to it, and kind of you could also turn it off if you want.
The regen brake,
the regen brake.
But I like it. I mean,
you got to get used to it. You got to get used to it a little bit when you first get it. But
at first, people get pissed off, dude, because you drive when you first get it, and people are in the car with you. It kind of it bucks.
I don't know if you consider an upside or downside of Tesla, but the way you can drive that car without the shifting, it literally is a slot car. Like he drives, like when he's driving, I'm in his car, I'm scared for my life. Okay, because the way he drives it.
But you always been like that with driving, though.
Oh, has he?
He's never been
even in his Pinto
calm driver.
That's true.
He's pretty aggressive driver.
You drove the ZR1 well. You didn't go too crazy with the ZR1 when you drove.
It's because it's your car, probably. But
no, because I already Panamera, dude. I don't want to wind up. He didn't let me drive his cars for years, dude.
Yeah.
Like he was.
Dude, he took. Okay, so when I got the Raptor, I go check out the Raptor, and he pulls in the Raptor, and I'll never forget, off of McBean, off of the Honorable McBean. He's taking this thing at like, I don't know, this is like 35. He's taking like, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Oh, dude, these cars can handle it. These cars can handle it, and he's taking it on a Raptor.
He has no understanding of what a Raptor can
Physics,
do.
yeah.
Like literally, like these things go over curbs and the wheels just go up because they have like Fox suspensions, dude.
Right.
I was trying to give him that, but he was freaking out, so I did back off a lot.
So after that, he was put on timeout for like 8 years until my next car.
8 years.
But nonetheless, no, it's just interesting how the dynamics, I think, of technology and how things change, and also how the consumer mind changes. You identified the younger generation isn't thinking of these things as the way we do. Now, can they? Yes. So, for example, he identified his kids, or can't wait to drive, nature of his profession, what he does with his kids, and I'll do a comparison analogy to music. My son, when I asked him the other day. Exactly. So it's a warm feeling. It's a good place, whatever. And the other good friend of mine from college, he's a big Pearl Jam guy. The other day he's posting on a group chat that we're on. He's like, dude, the other day my son came to me. He goes, Dad, my favorite band is Pearl Jam. His son's in college. So again, I think there's that nostalgia is playing a good role now. Now keep in mind also now, today's generation has a wide variety of music that they can listen to, different mixes, whatever. Our generation, was what? Heavy metal, classic rock, alternative,
rap,
reggae,
rap
when it first came out, Dougie Fresh, the Two Life Crew.
Well,
yeah.
dude, music wasn't so easily distributed then. Though.
Wasn't so easily distributed.
You had tapes, you had CDs.
You had to go buy,
tapes
and
CDs,
and you had
radio.
to go pay for
and
it.
then you started burning music. Remember that was a big evolution?
I miss having my double deck tape deck, the double tape deck.
You had to record it.
You could record it. Go.
Dude.
Yes.
Go.
Yes. Go and go. Stop. And then what killed that? What killed that? Napster.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Burning music, dude.
Metallica killed the.
And then it was the filing.
Metallica.
I remember that. Yeah, you
can't sued. Yeah, because you can't record our music. So now everything is now.
But now you can get it now. Everything's out there. You can YouTube it. You could go online. You could Google it. You could listen to whatever you want, whenever you want, in the touch of a finger, touch of a number, whatever the case is.
So how hard is it to get your music out there if you're like a really good artist?
I think it's all marketing, man. I mean, you could be on YouTube. They're saying, I don't know.
Very easy.
I don't follow.
Because sorry to cut you off, but these artists now, if you're good, you make a video, you send it out there, and let it do it.
But how do you not get lost in the blue ocean? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you how. Not music, Hawktua.
It's
girl. Not music. The right place at the right time, the right response.
She said one thing. What? What did she say?
One thing. Hawktua.
Well,
Hawktua thing.
Yeah.
She became a millionaire.
Eber's been saying that for years. Okay, whenever we hang out, man, I would.
It didn't go anywhere, dude.
It didn't go anywhere. I didn't have a camera, anything like that.
It's these memes.
Yeah.
If you could,
ain't nobody got time for that. Remember that?
Yeah.
Same thing. Okay, that went viral.
If you could do one thing, and it could be the dumbest thing in the world, and it just gets reposted, you're set.
Yeah. Or you're not.
Right? This thing right now we're doing.
Or you're like never able to
go
out in public
anymore. Right now, this
anymore.
podcast could be posted 1,000,000 times. We're set.
Yeah.
Will it? Probably not. Yeah. But it's a possibility because.
But sound bites. So, for example, with the taping we did today, what's that?
It's the relevant content, dude.
Right.
It's how much the content needs to be seen.
But here's the thing, though. It's the dumbest content, useless content that gets the most popularity, not the one that's actually educational.
Correct. Have you ever seen his social media stuff? It's the dumbest content.
And people love it. It's true. People love it.
Yeah.
When I do dumb things, they love it.
Yeah.
When I actually do educational things, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a water pump for a Cayenne and blah blah. And it's like, well, whatever. When I do dumb shit like, oh look, I'm drinking this coolant, but oh wow, everybody loves it.
Okay, so
1,000 likes, 1,000,000 views.
Well, people like to laugh.
Come on, man.
People like to laugh.
Well, I remember.
But that's bad because people are getting uneducated quick.
They're getting dumber.
They're getting dumber. My kids, thank God for my wife, but because she stops it. I feel like when sometimes they watch these things, I'm like, I'm getting dumber just watching it. What is this crap you're watching? It's just
oh my God. So for example, I'll never forget. Months ago, I asked my son, "Hey, you want to go see a movie?" And I go, "Okay." He goes, "What's playing?" He goes, "How long is it? Not what is it about? How long is it? Hour or whatever?" No, that's too long. The mindset now of today's generation is the TikTok mindset. It's those 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is.
And they want everything right then and right there because they get it. Oh, I want to watch a different one. Boom.
Yeah.
You have to wait for it. What do you mean I have to wait for it? How long is it going to take? 15 minutes. What? Oh my! They go crazy.
It's the scrolling generation. We're all subject to it to some extent.
It's this world.
Yeah.
Us three, were not brought up in this world.
Yeah.
We
came still to some extent.
Well, we had a whole life without it.
We had a whole life without it. Then it came into our world. Our kids, this is all they know.
Yeah.
If this was removed from their lives, oh my God.
Chaos would ensue.
If this was removed from our lives, all right, cool.
Yeah.
We'd figure it out, dude.
Yeah, all right. Oh, shit.
We'd put a phone back on the wall.
Yeah. God damn it.
Waze is the best radar detector.
I'm going to get lost going
way.
home. Whatever the case might be, that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people, 90% of people not rely on this.
Yeah.
This is it.
And it's here to stay. I mean, it's not going back, right? So, you know.
And another thing I want to talk about, when you guys say Tesla has updates all the time, so imagine when we have self-driving cars or even robots, are they going to be obsolete every month, every 6 months because of updates, hardware, all that good stuff? How's that going to work out?
Processors.
That's a good question, because now, like, my car is essentially outdated. They do have an upgraded. You can take it to Tesla and they'll upgrade it to a hardware 4. It's a couple grand.
But is it a hardware where they have to actually install?
No, they literally
a part?
change the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you go to a Tesla and you look inside and you see a red camera, that's the newer one. If you look at like a gray or green color, that's the older cameras. That's how you can tell.
What year's your car?
If you can't tell
22.
which color it is, that's when you go to the optometrist.
Yeah.
So when did it come out with the H4?
23.
Late 2023.
So freaking a year later.
Yeah. I just missed the mark.
So here's what I think it is. I think that
every year they got. How about?
I'll tell you what I think. I think as the applications become more complex for the over-the-air updates or whatever, as the consumer demands something to do more on its own, you need a faster processor. Okay, you need that
more
hardware.
data, you need more processing speed.
So we're seeing it. So for
they
example,
need more hardware.
I just got rid of
a better camera or computer or something.
Well, that's why our phones do that.
Give it a simple comparison.
Every year.
I just got a new laptop, so I'm a Mac guy, right? So a MacBook. And the reason why I got a new laptop, the last one I got was in 2019. We're great for quite some time until it started just getting really slow. The updates would just be it would glitch a lot, whatever.
This laptop that we're filming this podcast on, 2019, dude.
Oh really? And it's still working just fine.
I got to get a new one soon.
Yeah. So same.
Well, no, it runs this. It runs all my businesses. It's
and
pretty good.
Eventually, the processors now are that much faster, that much quicker. My new laptop, it's.
But I do have to close screens now, because before, now things come up slow.
Computers like that. Yeah. But I think what's going to happen in the future with these robots and these cars is that you pay a subscription, an X amount of subscription, and it just keeps rotating.
Yeah.
They keep getting you new hardware and new software, new hardware, new software. You will always pay monthly fees, whatever that might be, and it covers everything. And a warranty.
And the manufacturers make a grip of money.
Until the hardware can't fit it anymore, and then you got to upgrade it, right?
Right. So let's say 4 years. I'm going to give you 4 years. You get free software updates for 4 years.
I mean, the other day I was in Raffi's office, just making a phone call, and he still uses a Commodore 64.
Interesting.
Which is,
I love that game.
Good,
Did you play games on a Nintendo or what? Dude?
He likes hearing the clicks of the keys.
It's Contra. Up, down, down, left, right.
Contra.
Select, start.
Contra.
Come on,
really
you guys can't go wrong.
That was a good game.
I love that game.
I don't know that one, dude. Sorry.
Oh, Contra? Oh, that was a freaking phenomenal game. All right, let's see. Last question to wrap this thing up.
You're feeling a lot,
dude. I don't know which one you're talking about.
We've hit so much of this without even asking. In the future, will the best performing cars be defined more by code than by engines? I think both.
You mean code is software?
Well, it depends. If you're electric.
Hold on, look at number 9. Are manufacturers intentionally leaving performance on the table knowing software updates can unlock it later? No, they're not. Because manufacturers have to meet their emissions and their miles per gallon. They have to.
Right.
So it's not like, well, let's make it something bigger so people. No, this is what we got to make.
That's right. They're government standards.
They're government standards. They have to do this.
But
is there a lot of bone left in the meat? Yes. But they're not doing it on purpose. Right. It's something they're doing so we can meet it. Because do you think a manufacturer wants some Yahoo to go in there and mess with their programming?
No.
The engineering that spent all these years in college to get an engineering degree to build this car in this perfect...
But his hands are tied, though.
Right.
His hands are tied by what you just said, because they have to meet these guidelines.
Right.
When they send it out to the world, you buy the car... You
and
don't have to meet
this Yahoo that comes in, oh wait, I know you did this, but I'm gonna do it better than you.
All right, so let me ask you this: what's your opinion? And do you think Ferrari did anything wrong when GM reverse engineered and broke down a 458 to build its current line of the C8 line?
No, they just copied the 458.
Right, but I mean, could Ferrari have locked anything?
You mean with the mid-engine and all that?
Oh yeah, and a Ferrari GM deconstructed
that's what the flank crank, the flank crank came into play for those new C8s. Yeah. What they did was they got the 458. They pretty much said, okay, cool, we're gonna make our car look like the 458.
We're gonna copy it.
Yep.
Yeah, which is
reverse engineered.
I mean, they copied it.
So they made it better. Ferraris are now the new Timu ZR1s.
So I think. If you're an engineer, you should come up with your own shit.
True, but don't you also need a foundation and a base? And don't we always use?
They also got the GT RS too. They also want to see what was in that car to make it to where we got to beat this car. What do they have?
They got the ZR1.
Yeah. So they. Yeah. But to me, it's like, okay, did Porsche do that? Did Porsche get a Corvette?
No, I agree with you.
The
Well,
Ferrari?
are they?
Well,
See, that's what we
Porsche's-
don't know.
Porsche's been working
Because
with that kind of
Ferrari
engine
said, you know
forever,
what?
dude.
We need to make a new body. Let's copy someone. Who could we copy?
Okay, no, but wouldn't you say that to some extent, American manufacturers such as GM, let's say with the Corvette, the ZR1 line specifically, has raised the bar to where many of these, because of the brand or the loyalty?
No,
behind
because
it?
they copied.
But now does Lambo, Ferrari, McLaren needs to raise their bar to have these 1,000+ horsepower vehicles that beat these performance-wise? No,
I don't think so. Because someone that owns a Lamborghini is not going to go to a Corvette.
true. Yeah, true.
Not all.
Yeah.
Most will not go back to a Corvette.
Well,
To a
so,
Corvette.
and I think I mentioned to you this one individual that
There's
admitted.
a reason they bought that Lamborghini. They want their attention.
No, I get it. But again, it just depends on the consumer. So I think I told you about that, a couple weeks ago over at the not Toys for Tots, whatever it was, the Christmas toy thing over at Pierce College when I met that one individual, very well dressed man.
You said you wish he had a
Yeah,
01.
yeah. He knew the specs of
Do
my
you
car.
really think he would do it though?
Oh no,
I don't think so.
He's getting the
Do what?
01X. No, he will. With the kind of money he has, no. So this guy came up to my car and he knew all the specs of the car, and he was just glazing me on it. I mean, in a good way, like saying this, verifying it. Can I see this? Can I see that? And I go, "Are you getting one?" He goes, "No, I'm waiting for the 01X." I go, "Okay." I go, "They're gonna be pretty pricey." He goes, "Yeah, no, I just, I'll wait for it at MSRP." And I go, "Okay, cool." I go, "What did you bring here?" He points over there, F40, Ferrari F40. Yeah, one of the F40s that was on the side. That was one of his. And I go, "That's yours." He goes, "Yes." And he showed it to me.
So
whatever.
he's got one of the baddest
Yeah.
cars in the world.
He bought it.
What's
He's
an
like, okay,
F40
cool.
worth?
Yeah.
3.5 million.
Well,
4
he
million?
got an offer for 3.
So clearly it's not the
recently
money.
for it.
Yeah.
He bought it for 1.3.
Yeah.
Okay, but the one thing he told me though, I go, "How how do you like it?" He goes, "It's great on freeways." That's what he said. Great on freeways. Like I said, it's a museum piece, and for long distance freeways.
I drove an F40, and I think F40 is one of my favorite Ferraris in the world.
Incredible, beautiful vehicle. Incredibly beautiful vehicle.
Well, what did you like about it the most?
So when I drove the car, the turbo lag is crazy on that car.
Okay, so
You
you're,
floor it, it goes nowhere.
Yeah.
but then it spools.
Then once it spools, I got that thing sideways. It scared the
Wow.
shit out
So
of
it
me.
goes from
Who
like
did you
0 to
drive?
whoa.
Who did you drive?
This was
Clients or-
long time ago back in the when I was in the Ferrari world, when I was at the Ferrari dealership. On the freeway,
Customer comes back and goes, why so many miles on my car?
And my tire's bald.
and with
we had to
What's
test
all
it.
this
We had to-
rubber on the back of the
we had
fender,
to take
dude?
it out.
I think I was going over 65, the speed limit,
Yeah.
way over.
In
And
Mexico.
the car,
They always say
in Mexico,
yeah.
and then the car felt nothing. Like the steering wheel's like
Wow.
the car felt so raw. The rawest car I think I ever drove in my life was that F40.
It's
Yeah.
not power steering. It's not power steering. No.
I drove an F50, F40, an Enzo. I wasn't there for the La Ferrari. F50 was cool. It was more. I didn't like the gauge because it had the electronic gauge, right? The F50.
Yeah,
did.
like a-
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
Knight
cool
Rider.
car because of V12. It's like pretty much an F1 motor. The chassis was like the motor itself, all that good stuff. That was great. F40 was a V8 twin turbo. It just felt so raw, so stiff, and so like planted that. Wow, that's a great car.
Yeah,
And the way it
incredible.
looks, I just love
Yeah.
the way it looks.
That's a gorgeous
Love
car.
that car.
But again, I think for him, and of course, obviously pretty well to do, he was mesmerized by my car. Looking forward to getting the ZR1X because again, he's going to add it to his collection. He's not getting rid of the F40 for it, right?
Of course not. Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things like maybe that'll be his daily or more often or not. He'll use it because the reliability of the ZR1X.
No, I think he's gonna get that car because that's a 01X,
Yeah.
1200 horsepower,
Yeah.
a wow factor for GM. I want one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the biggest part of that ZR1X is the fact that it's 4-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, electric front and then, gas rear.
I am curious though about the real world drivability and numbers because you would know better than I would the weight and the regen on it, and if you're really going to track it on a regular basis, let's say it, wouldn't you argue that let's say a car like mine without
think
that
the
extra
front end's
weight,
gonna push?
yes, or weigh it down, right? Depending.
But look at the times. It was 1 second
Yeah,
faster
yeah,
than the 01. To
yeah.
me, that's nothing on a 17-mile track
Yeah,
or
yeah.
however long
Yeah,
that is. That's
Yeah,
technically almost identical.
almost identical. Yeah.
With more
Yeah.
money, with more
Yeah.
weight, with
Yep,
more,
and more things that could fall apart,
Right.
right? You know that kind of stuff.
But
right?
it does
More
take it
components.
on the launch
Of course, yeah.
because of the 4-wheel drive. It doesn't.
But
it
not
doesn't.
much,
It's
though.
planned.
What's
Not
the-
much. No. The zero to no. They haven't decided. They're saying it's faster than the Plaid. So it's
So then
sub
that's-
two.
I'm
It's
compared
sub
to the
two.
01.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the sub two. They're saying the 01X. They're saying has been tested.
2.3
is a
to
sub point-
1.2.
Yeah. To sub two.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's decent. That's decent. But I mean, again, that's on the launch on a roll. That's different.
10 years from now, your ZR1 will be the same because it's gas powered.
Right.
Issues,
Yeah.
and that car might have electrical issues.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Or you got to replace the battery because it's shorted out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Put more
That's
double
what
A's in
we
there,
don't
you'll be good to go. You know, you think about that real quick. So all these hybrid cars, supercars, non-supercars, at some point, those batteries are going to go bad. Some point, like everything else, right?
Right. 10 years is probably like a
15 years?
is
Well,
long.
whatever.
And isn't it new technology for these manufacturers compared to Tesla? I mean, they're not. That's not what they're wired for, pun intended. Right?
Well, the question
so
is,
doesn't
can
it mean
you?
that there could be more flaws with it because they're trying to play catch up?
Of course.
Yeah.
Those, like, look at the McLaren P1. It's old enough now where you got to replace the battery. How much is the battery in that car?
Look what you mentioned
Couple
earlier
hundred
about
grand?
the SF9.
What, P1, McLaren P1? Which one, is that the first
their
Elon
supercar.
Musk car, like
No,
the one he
no,
crashed?
P1
Whale
is
tail. That's
McLaren.
the whale tail
Oh,
one.
okay.
Isn't it? Is it the whale tail one?
No, P1 is their hypercar for the
Which one's the
McLaren.
one that has a giant, what looks like a very coned rear?
No, that's a different car.
It's a McLaren. It was at the car
Is
show.
that the super
The one
fast
that
thing?
was super long.
I don't know if I know what it is. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know the name of it, but like the P1s or even the LaFerraris now, they're old. So
Yeah.
how much is the battery for those cars?
They got to be expensive as hell.
Hundreds of thousands
I'm wondering,
of dollars.
like, if you replace them though, would you go to a newer technology battery though?
Do they
why would
have
you-
a newer technology battery for those cars?
Oh, you'd have them on manufacturer, right? Like, you'd
Well,
have
think
to,
about it. In a LaFerrari, how many LaFerraris they made? 500-600? You think they're gonna go ahead and make a whole new
battery pack for that.
battery pack for 600
Well, I feel
batteries?
like every-
cost them billions.
I feel like
Speedtail.
Speedtail,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Speedtail.
Yeah.
I feel like every
I dig that.
battery
You dig
pack.
it?
No.
Oh,
It looks like every battery pack has a bunch of. I'm not kidding. Like, not the
Little-
side.
little
It's
batteries.
a freaking battery, and they're just all like in series, and they're all welded together.
Welded together, correct? Yeah.
So, at what point can you just not like get more AA batteries or AAA batteries, whatever the hell? You know, and we're being sarcastic, but like you get the point with different cells, and you line them up, and you get better technology cells
But
that
that's
can
going to
hold
depend on
more
the
and charge
software
faster,
too. It's
which
all
is also
software.
which is also amendable.
It's all about software. So okay, you know what?
Then
I just,
that relies on hardware.
That's
software
and the
work.
limitations of.
Yeah.
you need the hardware, which is the batteries,
Yeah.
and your software, updated software to communicate with the
Right.
hardware to make sure that now we need to blah
But it's
blah
like
blah.
everything, dude. You can't put a big old motor in like a 1965 car because you'll just blow everything else out.
Can you? I mean, we
The
talked
suspension
Yes,
won't
you
hold
can.
it.
No, yeah, you can.
The
We
you
talked
the brakes can't stop
Calvo
it.
Motors with the Viper. We talked about it today.
Well,
With
you could put
yeah.
a you could put a ZR1
Yeah.
motor on a Camaro, 69 Camaro,
Yeah.
100%.
But how do you
need-
stop it?
Do you need upgraded brakes and suspension to handle it? 100%.
Yeah, and
can
you
you
don't
do
have
it and
the
drive without
ABS.
it?
You don't
Yeah.
have the active handling. You don't have any of that stuff.
Will you kill yourself? Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have the raw power, right? And so we talked. The gentleman that we talked to earlier that did the video was telling us about it because I saw a clip on it last night. The Viper, the 2,000 horsepower,
Yes.
1,800 rear wheel horsepower on a Dodge Viper RCS or something like that. That was fully modified, so modified to the extent that it drives better than the stock version because the stock version wasn't a good car. Remember we talked
No
about-
ABS, no traction control, nothing.
now it
This one
has
had
all that.
ABS.
Yes.
Aftermarket, by the way.
Yeah.
So you can
kept-
add those safety devices in
100%.
aftermarket.
Yes. Motec.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So you could add the biggest thing right now, what these manufacturers or
Traction
even
control.
aftermarket companies is traction control, right? So because you can make any car have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 horsepower,
Yeah.
right? But can you keep it to the ground?
It's unmanageable.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you manage those horsepowers to where when you gun it, it's going to go? Or you're going to sit there for a minute, let it spin
Pop
the
your
wheels,
tires.
pop your tires, then go, right? Because
And your rims.
you could have a 500 horsepower car that grips and goes, and a 1,000 horsepower car just spins. The 500 horsepower cars are going to win
Dodge,
all day.
Mopar. Yeah, and now that, like you said,
Software,
the aftermarket
Yeah.
traction control.
some
companies-
hardware,
Yeah.
and mostly software.
and
Tesla.
they're killing it.
All
and they're
fucking
I
killing
have
it.
that's new to me. Honestly, the
I just
upgrades.
found, you've
and,
known that obviously. I just found out today.
but
about
I
the traction
remember
control
driving a
companies. The aftermarket
2000
traction control.
yes.
I didn't know that
a
it was out there.
2000
Yeah.
Corvette, and it was going around some railroad, like it was around, like the railroad tracks were on the side, so there was gravel on the road,
Yeah.
and it was probably about 100 miles an hour, and the car started. I didn't feel it, but I looked down and I saw the active handling engaged. The car was losing control. I didn't feel it,
Yeah.
but it kicked in. It realized that there was some slide, and I must have been sliding the car to
Yes,
some
well,
extent.
What it does is it reads all four wheels.
Right.
If one is faster than the other, it's saying, we got to slow this bitch down because something's going on. So
Right.
it takes everything back. You'll see a light maybe flicker or whatever the case
That's
is.
what I saw. Yeah.
Yep. And then the car's kind of like, what was that? Okay, cool.
I'd never been in a situation where it actually engaged, and I, at that higher rate, because before that, the systems were like, shut it down. We're doing something wrong, just shut it down. This is actually just helping you go that fast safely.
You know,
That's a different.
It's your ABS unit too.
This was in 2002, maybe, right?
So like, what they use is the ABS unit itself. So when they think that you're losing control, they activate the brakes.
Yeah.
To kind of like they pump.
And it probably
whatever.
cuts back throttle, right?
Yeah, and then of course the throttle. They either use fuel injection cut off, throttle cut off, whatever the case is, with your brakes to get that car back in control.
I remember when I worked for Chevy, this guy walks up and he has a brand new Z06, younger kid, maybe 23, 24 years old, bought a Z06, comes in, has a bag, like a canvas bag, has a brake rotor in there. He says, I bought this car and it failed, and it's a Z06, 2000, maybe 2002, somewhere around there.
Okay.
But it was like a 425 horsepower car. It wasn't very powerful.
But back then it was.
But back then it was powered without control. There was nothing controlling this kid from going first, second, into the side. And what they did is he argued it, and they went back in because computers still record. There's yaw rate sensors that tell where the car's going sideways, right? There's yaw rate sensors to tell where the car's going backwards. There's wheel speed sensors. There's steering wheel position sensors, brake, pedal. It's collecting all this data.
Right.
And they went to a forensic analyst, went out, measured the skid and the damage on the car. They put this thing together. They said the car didn't fail.
Wow.
You left your foot in the car too long and crashed the car. And this kid and that's what happened, because it's just data, right?
Yeah.
And they read all that data, dude. And like the cool thing is, though, if they had...
Do all cars have a black box or no?
Most cars do.
Yes.
Oh, they do?
It's in the ABS or the airbag system, right? Back then it was. I don't know anymore.
They're having a system where they kind of have an idea. Tesla especially.
Yeah.
They know exactly what you're doing.
Yep.
And the camera's recording, dude.
The camera's recording.
We get all the data.
Which is good, actually. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't give a shit when they say, oh, the big brother's watching you. Well, good, because if I'm doing something stupid, they let me know what's up.
They can improve upon it.
Yeah,
But
or
that's the
someone
thing.
else is doing something stupid, you can help me out.
That kid back then, had he had active handling, it would have engaged, said, hey, you're doing something stupid, cut off his throttle, like realized the steering wheel was pinned in a direction where he was going to hit that curb, and would have cut him off before.
But here's the thing, though.
That kid was me.
But here's the problem, though. It's only so much the traction control. I can still lose control in the car.
Okay,
like
so that's
that.
what I want to ask you.
Yeah.
When I see on these video clips, more often than not, I see Mustangs and Lambos lose control on, let's say, they're trying to show off after Cars and Coffee, and then hit the middle divider or whatever, and just tweak the car. Is that the driver? Is that the vehicle? Is that a combination?
100% driver.
100% driver. Okay,
100% driver. The car has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
They either turned off traction control,
or to try to get the
try to get the little
override.
slide where,
Yeah.
hey guys, look
Yeah.
at me, I could do a burnout.
Got
And
it.
then of course they lose the control of the car,
Yeah.
or they do it so much where the car is trying to stop,
Yes.
but I can't. This is what my software can only handle.
Got it.
Well, that was the Paul Walker thing, right? That car that crashed
Ferrari GT.
just 5 minutes from here.
Well, tell them what we saw today. We saw, the gentleman that did the video today was friends with not only Paul Walker, but
Roger.
Roger, yeah.
And has a picture on his wall that was taken of Roger the day that he passed away in another vehicle. And the reason why he brought it up, we were talking about how life is fleeting.
So short, yeah.
And so short that you never know when
He
you're
was
gonna
smiling
come
like
up.
that
He was
doesn't
smiling, it was
happen.
just another day, and that was the day that they lost
Well,
control.
that situation was that Porsche is a wild animal, no active
Jay
handling.
Leno said that.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be on the road.
Right.
It should only be on the track.
It just has a lot of power, and it's just very raw.
Have you
But
worked on
could
that
you
one?
add?
Have you worked
Could
on
you
that?
add that?
I driven those cars. They are pretty raw, but again, you can't blame the car like you can't blame the gun.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna hot dog it,
It's your
you're
risk.
taking a risk
Yeah,
of
you gotta-
something could happen. You could get a flat tire.
Yeah.
Someone could pull full foot in
Uneven
front of
pavement,
you.
uneven pavement,
You
or
could
whatever.
roll.
Yeah.
Somebody else can make a mistake.
Yeah.
in
Yeah, I
it.
mean, it's you're still driving. In your case, 1,000 horsepower
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
Shit could go wrong in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
What if
think
you
the
turn the steering
technology
wheel
can
too
help it.
much, where the car went sideways, and like, oh, now what? And there's another car coming this way.
So I'll never forget an accident I had. This is my V6 Camaro. This is when the ugly years of the Camaro, the model before yours.
The 86.
It was
Oh,
kind of very smoothed over. At first, it had the four headlights, the 2 and 2.
Oh.
They smoothed it over. It was the ugly. It was right after the IROC. right after the IROC design.
The 80s.
Yeah, the 80s. So I had one of those, right? So
IROC was 87, 88? Or
late
what?
80s. So after the IROC design, there was a period of time where they were just, IROCs are gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it was an ugly car. It was very bubbly, whatever. So I had one. And back then, Momos were a thing. So I had Momos on it, big old 20 Momos, whatever. And I was taking V6, but I'm taking them badass in it. So I'm flooring it. I'm taking an on-ramp onto the 10 freeway by, I think it was National Exit or whatever over there in Culver City or Palms. And so as I'm taking it, again, it's hugging. I know my car. What I didn't know was that there was a sprinkler broken at the bottom of the base of the on-ramp, and there was water, leaking into the thing. And I go, and I knew it. I go, oh shit. And again, I'd done that before many times on that on-ramp.
You just didn't have a loose surface like
but
that.
I didn't know this time there was going to be a broken water sprinkler. I hit it. I spun out into the freeway, started doing donuts. I go, I'm done. I mean, I had tractor trailers coming at me, whatever. And I see a family of 4 coming at me, and I still remember the look on their face. Oh shit!
You could see the kid in the back.
Boom! Yeah, car totaled.
Oh man!
Everybody okay? Insurance, fortunately.
I was hoping you were going to say you were fine.
The cops showed up thinking there was a fatality because they're looking for the person in the car. I was already out of it, staying on the side. That's how bad that hit was. I got very, very fortunate. But what you're saying is that you just never know. I took an on-ramp that I'd taken numerous times, being foolish, being a young, in my 20s or whatever, knowing my car, knowing I could handle it at a certain speed, not knowing the unknown.
I think there's always that anomaly that can, that life happens kind of thing,
You can't blame the car for that.
Yeah, that's true.
I think cars can help you.
I've done stupid shit, and it was all on me when I destroyed cars or when I've done stuff where, ooh, how come this didn't happen? Oh, yeah, wait, I was going too fast.
That's usually the thing, right?
You know what I mean? It's like, how do you want something?
You're either not paying attention or you're pushing the limits.
Right.
Yeah. But then you're also not living. To some extent,
I mean,
right?
Cars are dangerous, and they're making these cars so stupidly fast and smart where it makes a novice or a non-car guy look like a freaking Schumacher or Max Verstappen because look at this. Look what I could do with this car. I'm so fast in it. Yeah,
let me ask you a scary question. Do you think they'll ever get to the point? Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, okay? Start over. Let me ask you this scary question, dude. Do you think that there'll ever be a time when cars will become that they won't let you drive it? Why? Because we're too irresponsible. We crash it. Cars, if you have cars on the road that are all like interfacing and they are all doing the right thing.
Now. You're talking
it's possible,
dude.
You're
talking Blade Runner.
No, that might be, we all might be dead by then because of
possible
lawsuits and liability where.
Or do you think we'll just burn it down?
Well, I'll tell you this.
No, there will be a yes, I 100% believe in the next 10 years, cars will be driving themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that they'll always be like, okay, I'm taking over now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And they will record everything that goes on in that car.
Well, you mentioned iRobot, right? Do you remember that scene where they're in that tunnel and he goes manual and the wheel pops out?
Right.
And the girl looks at him like, are you freaking insane? Like, looked at him like crazy, right?
It's because but if that means in iRobot, 90% of people never drive the cars.
Right.
That's why she felt like, wait a minute, you're
this
driving
new
your own car?
is like
that
not
means
wanting to
there
drive.
is an option, which I think there's always going to be an option where
Override.
you take control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes and no. So I'm going to throw a little, monkey wrench in that. I agree with Raffi on it, except for if we get to the point now where you're starting to see now with air taxis or whatever, where now you're flying at a low altitude to get somewhere, there it has to be fully controlled. Because if you no longer have roads to control your parameters, such as your level, where you're going, whatever. Now you have multiple vertical, as well as horizontal as to how you're flying, quote unquote. It has to be controlled.
I think flying will be in 20 years.
In 20 years?
Yeah.
Like flying like across, over.
I heard they're gonna have some for the Olympics, dude. That
they're
gonna have some.
Have it already, probably testing it as we
that
speak.
has.
No, they
to
already
be fully,
do.
Yeah,
They have a fleet already of like 25 of them that are gonna take you from the airport to the Olympics, dude, in 2028, which is only in a couple of years, 2-3 years.
That I think
that's more like a
there's permits
publicity
a
little
bit of a stunt, right?
Right.
But still, that's kind of where things are going, right?
But yes, I agree 100% because they've been testing this. It's like Tesla with their robo taxi, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That one doesn't have a steering wheel.
No.
So there's no way to take the wheel. It's like if it fails.
But technically, you're not driving. You're the passenger.
I know, but there's no override.
I haven't been in a way. Have you guys been in a Waymo yet or no?
No.
Okay, so I've been. I don't know if you can.
You're right. Though there's no steering wheel in a robot taxi.
that's a thing. So like that's going away. They're taking it away. What I'm getting at is that the mindset of like us driving is going away. And at what point do they not? It just stops being optional.
I think.
And
so.
they're not gonna balk though. The new generation, they're gonna be like, all right, that's fine, great.
That's on them though. I think. Yeah. But let me ask you, the other guys. That's another scary question. Do you think we're gonna have cars like the ZR1? I think when it comes to a point where everything is self-driven.
No, they'll be the new classics, just like music that I listen to.
Will it be illegal?
Classic.
Will it be illegal to drive on the roads? Can I drive your ZR1 next to a robocar?
Because your cars are responsible.
Right.
Because you're driving
because it'll limit the ability of all the other vehicles on the road. It's a good question.
Because the electric cars, like the Tesla Plaid, essentially is
they're all going to talk to each other. All the cars, right?
It might be.
You're going to make a left, or I'm going to come back a little bit.
I'll tell you what it becomes most likely. Just like how trains are, there'll be areas and roads where those fully autonomous vehicles can drive, and you can't be on those. And there'll be ones that you could be on.
You think the government's going to make a whole new road for some people?
No, I think you're talking about the new railroad. So those fully autonomous cars are now the new railroad. Though, in fact, what's going to become obsolete are trains. In that respect, except for
cargo,
for mass cargo, exactly. Except for mass cargo, but for like the Metrolink and stuff like that, if you're doing that, then why you bother with Metrolink if you just have these cars do it?
Just jump your car on there.
Well, then it becomes expensive fees, whatever.
It does a train line.
Then it becomes a question of finances, right, and economics.
Unless, like you said, they make a special lane, 1 or 2 lanes, just for the robotaxis. Yep. And the other 2 or 3
just like cable cars,
like
cable
carpool
cars in San Francisco,
kind of thing. But
carpool, that kind of
stuff. But for robotaxis, yeah.
It's an interesting concept, dude.
That's a lot of infrastructure they have to change. That's like you're talking about trillions.
How long ago did carpool lanes come in? Yeah, I mean, it's trickle down for those vehicles.
So we're looking at a lot of changes coming, man.
Yeah,
a lot of I shouldn't say opportunities, but options. And which way, like humanity decides to go.
I think it's gonna be very interesting stuff.
I think we'll be dead by then, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Now, those big ass changes, yes, they'll come, but I don't think we'll be driving, or we'll be
driven. We'll be driven, not driving.
We will be in those. Because I would love to drive till I die.
Right.
I love cars. I love driving.
Same.
I think that's why we're having this conversation. We all do, right?
So I really because by the time that technology comes and the infrastructure and all this BS comes, our kids might see it. And they're going to be our age.
Yeah. Talking like this.
Talking like us right now. Yeah. They'll be our age saying,
well, the conversation
my dad had this. You know? Right. Why did my dad name me Enzo? I have no idea.
Right. You know, like, I got to buy my Ferrari now. I didn't think this through.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think, because think about it, we still have 80s cars on the road.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
A few of them.
They're still there now.
Yeah. I saw like a Honda. No, hold on. Keep going.
Civic?
No, I'm trying to think of the car that I saw that I was like,
Prelude.
It was just clean, dude. It was very clean. It was a Toyota Corolla, an '87 Toyota Corolla. Yeah. It looked like it was brand new, and I was like, I was mesmerized by it because obviously it's a dinky, cheap car. But again, it was super clean, and it was like ugly brown.
Also, you have to understand, they have to make it where everybody could afford it. So if someone has an '87 Corolla, that's like, let's just say $3,000,
right?
No payments, just insurance. How are they going to transition to a robotaxi? Is it again a monthly fee?
Right.
$10,
that's what makes it affordable.
That's exactly how it's going to happen. You're not buying. Nobody's going to own anything
fractional
anymore.
Ownership.
It's all going to be a subscription.
Time
or
shares,
per use.
Car shares.
And then the more you pay, the better service you get. You get the front of the line.
I think it winds up being
right. You get fast line for service instead of waiting 3 weeks. You're in tomorrow.
Whatever the case is,
concierge. Everything's concierge.
Right, everything's going to be a subscription service base, and all you do is pay. The only thing you're going to own maybe your house. That's it.
Well, think about it. We've already, and probably a subject for next podcast, we've already been desensitized to money because you no longer feel it, touch it, move it. It's all numbers now. It's just numbers.
It's a card.
It's just tap, tap. So as long as your numbers are there, it desensitizes you to, I spent this much, spent that much, whatever, because just tap, 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 tap. Super easy. To the extent, depending on your economics and your budget or whatever.
And that's the big, the budget is what winds up being a big question for can people use it, right?
Right.
Some people are like, they can get a carton of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Some people have to buy a pack, and
Yeah.
some people are buying singles at the liquor store.
Yeah.
Right. So how you cater to them? Those buying
The
singles.
cigarette-
Your tier subscription.
Middle class and a rich class could afford it,
It's
right?
like a
Yeah.
taxi, man.
Yeah.
You have to use it on a per use basis.
Yeah.
And then the other people lease it monthly, and then the other people own it outright. So like those are the
Well, there's
the
public
scales, right?
transportation. You have a scalability of that model as a public transport. You're going to have those robo-taxis be now robo-buses, right? So you're going to have that.
They have those too. But
Yeah.
They're like little, I don't know. They look like you
Yeah.
can't tell if they're
Well,
going forward or
All
backwards.
those school buses now are electric. You know that, right?
Are they?
Oh yeah. My every time I drop my kid off at school, they're all electric buses.
They're electric,
nuts.
really.
That's
I thought they
nuts.
were like hydrogen or something.
Electric.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So even the buses, as kids' buses,
The
are.
FedEx trucks, electric.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah.
things are changing, man.
Yeah.
So
My
what's,
blow up doll, electric.
so
I borrowed
Does it-
Raffi's.
damn it, I got a new one. I updated mine to the H4.
Mine used to have the
H5.
brrr.
Yeah. Smells like gas. Smells like gas. You
Oh.
know, like
So think about this: robots will be taking people's jobs.
we'll be
But-
servicing robots. That's our jobs will be.
But they're not going to take our jobs. They're going to take the low end McDonald's, Amazon workers,
All the easy like things
minimum
to
wage
do.
jobs.
Right,
The
right.
minimum wage is going to go away. Because think about it, why am I going to pay a kid $17, $18, $19 an hour? They ain't going to do shit. They're going to get my shit wrong. I'd rather get a robot 24/7.
Well, I think everybody has like a certain like when we worked at the dealerships, right? We didn't do the oil changes, we didn't do the tire rotations, we didn't do like the easy stuff.
It's-
But when it came to the more higher like skilled work, we had
did
to
the
do that.
higher skilled work because we were more educated and we were more well trained for
Right,
it.
right.
Right. So a minimum wage to me is you don't make a career off a minimum wage.
No.
You don't
You
buy a
can't, you
house on
can't.
a minimum wage.
No.
Can't.
Minimum wage is you just pay your phone bill and that's it.
Well, I mean, minimum wage. The purpose of it is to help you as a springboard, right? To get to the next level, that kind
Right.
of stuff.
Now
Some
you
people
start
can
getting a
get there,
real
some can't,
job
yeah.
and minimum wage
Entry
became
level.
entry
Right,
level
entry
job,
level,
then
yeah.
became a career, and then became this and
Right,
that.
right.
People get this problem where, well, I need to buy a house for my minimum wage. It's like, how the fuck you gonna do
Well, we went through that,
No.
and that led to a recession. We went through where people that shouldn't have qualified for homes that they did.
Talking about 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
Well, yeah, because people were stated
State
income.
income. Yeah.
Yeah,
that? Sure.
Say whatever you want.
$10,000 a year. Oh,
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's $1 million house.
Yeah.
that was the reality. I mean, I hate to say it, but I
Yeah.
did see people that were like making 30 grand a year, and they were saying they made 90, 100.
Yeah.
And back then, homes were where that income would qualify them for a home, and the next thing you know, and the program they used was a pick-a-pay program, right?
Yeah.
We
pick
know
and
that
pay,
one.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, you would only pay the way they
Pay
worked.
what
it
you
is
could afford, pretty much.
you would only pay.
But was it like a interest rate was up and down?
You had three options.
Yeah.
You paid the principal and interest,
Why'd you
right?
raise four fingers for three?
Oh, I said
options?
three options, and then I brought them down.
There's 3 options.
There's
Okay.
there's three options.
I had to look down and see
There's
I had
three
four.
He did. He li- three options.
Relax, Mario. Okay, get over it.
There are three options.
Okay, we all know what three fingers are. And so we so okay, we had three options.
Yeah.
You had-
there's three options.
Okay, let it go, dude.
All right.
Sorry.
We had a principal and
options?
interest,
We're
right?
still kids, I swear
I
to
know.
God.
I know.
We had interest only,
Yeah.
and then you had deferred interest, where you paid not the whole interest.
Yeah.
You would only pay a portion of the interest, and then the difference plus the the
Accrued,
principal
yeah.
would accrue onto the principal in the back.
Yeah.
And then once that principal accrued to a certain point, it do what was called recasting. And then you would automatically take that whole lump sum, the amount, say you had a $100,000 loan, say you like deferred 20 grand, it would push, you'd have a new loan at 120 grand. And now you had no options to do the other two. You only
Yeah.
could do principal and interest now.
You gotta play catch up, or you're selling, or you're foreclosing.
Your payment
short
went
selling,
from 3 grand to 5, 6.
Yeah.
People
Right.
couldn't afford it anymore.
Right,
So
that's the
they,
biggest
so
thing
they
to say.
folded, yeah. And that was the number one trigger that
But they
caused
stopped
a
that
lot of
this
these
time,
things.
though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
illegal.
it doesn't exist now.
Yeah, it's
It's
illegal.
illegal.
It's illegal. yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the number one reason why nowadays you see homes that are like, you know, the people don't want to lose their 3%, right?
Mine's 2.75.
Pandemic. You're right.
And-
Refi during the pandemic. Yep.
Thank you, Darren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he
you
hooked me up.
you keep your interest rate, but nobody wants to get out of that. And now like people are looking
They're
at
talking about the portable loans, right? You know, so you could
50-year portable loans.
Yeah.
But that's, you know what, I think about that, and it's like,
You heard
what-
about that, right?
at what
Raffi?
point are you just
You could
not?
transfer to incite you to buy another house and move. You could transfer your loan to another home.
The interest?
Yes. That's what they're talking
You
about.
carry the loan with
You
you.
carry the loan with you. You bring the loan with you.
So how would that work?
Dude, I feels like a big credit card that's just on you, almost like an indentured servitude. And
So
I
let's
hate
say if
using
I-
that word, the phrase.
Let's throw numbers. Let's say if I want to buy a $1.5 million house,
Right.
and I still owe like $400,000 in my house I have now.
Well, it depends on your rate, right? If you're 2.7,
Yes.
then you would take that loan with you to your new house, and then you'd have to take a second loan out on what the difference is, right?
So
So,
if my house is worth 1.2,
mhm,
I owe 4.
right. So you've got a balance of 8.
Well, you're gonna
800.
put a down payment down, right? So you're gonna use a substantial down payment.
Well, you have equity on his house. So if he
Right,
sold
so
his
if you-
house,
yeah, and
and
if
his
you
house
use-
is, let's just say your house is $1 million, right?
Sure.
So now you have $600,000 in equity that you're
Yeah.
going to carry into the next house.
right.
So you have 400 plus 600. You're going to buy a 1.2, 1.5. So you've got a $500,000 balance.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take out another loan,
For
and that one's
500
going to have to
grand.
be at the new margin rate.
Yeah, that loan will be the new rate, but you've carried over your smaller percentage rate on the loan.
That's
that exists.
a good deal.
Well, it is,
In
but
theory.
Depends on
Okay.
what your secondary loan is going to be, I'm guessing.
Right. Well, everybody wants to make the banks need to make money, right? So, for example, they want to let Eber talk about this. I don't know it, but go ahead, Eber.
So if
So
I
which-
if,
which
let,
part?
let's
Which-
say
No, I mean, why would it not work? Why would banks be against it? Because they're not making
they're
money
not
on
making
new
money. Well, like,
not-
okay, so
well, that makes sense.
this is a big deal.
Right.
If
If
you're
you look
big
at-
nuts
Right.
getting transferred,
Right.
they're only
Instead
getting
of
a little nut.
writing that off the books, closing it out.
if you look
and
at an
freeing up capital for
amortization
another-
schedule, right, which is a huge thing that people don't really realize when they get into mortgages, is that at the beginning, the first years, your interest goes like this, right? And then at the end, you're paying very little interest.
Yeah.
So which means that at the
Right,
top,
right.
you're paying very little principal.
Right.
So if you refinance every 5-7
Banks
years,
make money on that. Exactly.
you
Yes.
start the clock, you're back up again, you're back up
Yeah.
again, 7 years, back up again. So if you
Banks don't make money on forever homes. So in essence,
Right.
that's a forever loan. So they're not making money on it because you're continuing it. You're never going to get rid of it. So you're tying up their books. So it's money that they wouldn't be able to release.
So
up to
in my
buy
mind,
new
now that I'm
loans.
thinking about it, and I was thinking about indentured servitude, is that it actually is a stronger way to borrow, because if you stay on that amortization table and you can actually write it
Yeah.
out to the
Yeah.
end of the
loan, yeah,
I wish people could see it in their minds, because I have it like ingrained in mine.
yeah.
The principal, if you can wind up further on the back, dude, you start compounding that down
Well,
fast.
I think there's a positive trickle effect. I mean, I get it that there's that an ability to flip the money, so to speak, for banks on new money.
Yeah.
But the trickle effect is the confidence of the consumer. So if the confidence of the consumer in getting a new house going, oh, my payment didn't really go up, I'm good. I have extra money to go on a vacation, to buy a car, to spend money down, to go to the restaurant, go to spend more money on whatever it is, on clothes, whatever it is. So the whole economic effect is positive. Whereas right now you're seeing people hold back quite a bit. Car washes, which I go to often because of the vehicles, they're slow. People don't want to wash their cars.
Okay,
They're
so
not going
this
every
is
week,
where
every 2 weeks, every
in
3
my
weeks.
in my mind, it winds up being kind of futile, in that you say portability loans coming in is good, but the real reason people want them to be portable is because they want to keep what they have. You want yours to be portable now, right? You want that 2.7 to
But
be
it
now.
keeps movement of the market. That's what I like about it. It keeps
No,
the market
but my
moving.
point is
Yeah.
he can't move because you're going to convert his loan into a portable loan. Is that what we're saying?
His percentage is going to remain the same for his balance. So that's his incentive to get into a new loan at a higher interest rate, because he's already got a good portion of another loan. Let's say the first on it's going to be locked in at 2.5.
So my
the
first
portable
loan
loan.
would be locked. My
Yeah.
first 800 grand would be locked at 2.75.
Yeah, because that's
But
what he's
you're-
currently-
are you
My
saying-
other 600
Yes.
grand
Would be at a higher interest
will
rate.
be at
Market
6,
rate.
Well,
seven.
see, this
market
is
rate.
kind of where it's uncharted, right? Or
Right.
it's hypothetical
Does that
in a
make
sense.
sense?
Because
You know what I
are
mean?
we
I think
taking?
it's definitely an incentive compared to your entire loan.
No,
here.
because he's
I wouldn't
taking-
mind spending another $1,500 bucks a month
Uh-huh.
to get into a bigger, better house.
yes,
Right.
exactly.
That makes
That
sense
makes
to
sense.
me.
Yeah.
But
Right.
if you are taking that $1,000 and $1,500 just in moving from a 2.7 to and now it's 5.9, right around there. So it's actually better than it was just a few months ago,
Yeah.
where it was like 6.5.
Yeah.
So like it has gotten better, but you still have a big bridge. You're going to be paying 3 points
But not
more.
for the full amount of the loan.
Then, but
that it
my payments
be.
would be
Yeah.
again 4 or 5 grand more.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so I'm going. This is
That's-
this is the point
that's-
I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
No bueno.
That the current proposition is that new loans that are originated are going to be portable, okay, and they're going to be. And then there was another talk of
It
50,
won't work
50
that
year
way.
loans.
That won't work that way. New loans
That
can't-
doesn't necessarily
that doesn't
help
work that
the
way.
existing
The portable
market.
loans have to be the existing loans.
You have to be able to convert
Yes.
existing loans
Yes.
into portable loans.
Yes.
That's the key. That's the caveat that we're looking at that I
Yes.
don't think is what's on the table. If it is, then I'm wrong in that I haven't heard of that.
Well,
but it might be a solution.
I think the middle ground is for the where the banks are going to want to charge a reassessment fee. They're going to want to charge. They're going to make money on the upfront costs to transfer your loan.
You know how many people want to buy a house? Like,
Yeah.
want to get rid of
November
their house
numbers.
because a lot of people are staying in their house because
the interest rates.
Dude,
Yeah.
I cannot sell this house. I
Yeah.
would love to move, but my monthly payments are low. I'm at 2.75.
Yep.
If I go, so it's gonna be double, and I don't want to do that.
Yep.
If that goes into play, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
know what I
see
mean?
so much movement in the market.
Just
It'll benefit
because-
everybody.
$500,000, 1 point, right? 1 point is
Yeah.
$5,000 a year that
Yeah.
you're paying. If you go 3 points, that's $15,000 a year in interest you're
Yeah.
paying. Now, if you take that 3%, I'm gonna round up on your 2.7 to 3, right? And then if you go to 6%, basically, you're going from $15,000 a year, which is about, $1,300 to $1,500. I'm not going that fast. But if you go from 15,000 and all of a sudden you go to 30,000 because you went from a 3% interest to a 6% interest, Mario, six.
But you
all right?
still have the 3. You still have a portion that's the 3.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you is that there's provisions in a mortgage document that don't allow you to
average
just
out.
carry your mortgage.
Yeah, but
and some are
but you're still getting more bang for your buck. You're still getting that larger house that you wouldn't have purchased anyways had you had to get rid of your underlying loan. You're getting a benefit of a portion of that loan being at an existing rate that is unheard
if
of.
you're transferable.
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how the
That's-
curve
that's
works.
it, the thing.
Let's say if I'm at 2.7. Let's say I'm at 3%, and the new one's 6%. So I'll be at like 4.5% at the end
On
of the
average.
day. And
Yeah.
averaging it out, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the loan amount.
But you'd be literally just paying twice the amount of interest if you just go from 3 to 6.
But it's not the same house.
I get
right?
it. But what
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you is if we cannot make these loans transferable, and this is kind of I think we're saying the same thing.
You're
I
saying
think-
that the numbers would be the same. You're trying to say that the
If
numbers
you're saying
would be
sell
the
the
same.
house as
yeah,
is, right?
Yeah.
Get your
Currently,
money,
right now,
and then go get a 6% loan for 1.5.
Yeah.
The difference would be whatever he
It's not.
said.
That's not
It's-
correct.
it's
15.
It's not correct.
okay, you have a house right now, right? Your
Wrong.
house- let me
Wrong.
Let me
Yeah,
just
the
let me just
The meme-
let me just throw some numbers right there.
Sorry.
Let's go back, Mario.
Okay.
Okay, you have a house. Let's say your house and I know you don't owe
You have a
500.
milkshake.
If you owe $500,000 on a house, your house you can sell it for $1 million. All right, all hypothetical. I don't know all these numbers exactly. So you're going to walk away with $500,000, right? That $500,000 loan is not going to be able to carry right now because
That's
you don't
what we're
have.
saying that you need
I
to
know,
do.
I
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but that's the difference
Wrong.
that's where you're wrong. Because you want to do that, but you know what? You can't. You know why?
Okay,
Because
so
Raffi
what
would
do
be
you-
in a new
no,
house
but
tomorrow.
What are you saying that the
It's true. I would be.
Yes.
I would be so
I would
much
be-
interested.
Yeah.
I think so. Me
I'd
and
love to put
everybody
him in
else.
that house.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
So
that
why-
would move the world.
Yes,
It would move the world. You're right.
But you know what? It's not there.
Why? Because they're not listening to this podcast.
Maybe.
Yeah, no,
Or is
but
it because-
seriously.
Maybe this is why this
That's-
podcast
that's
gets really
why
gets
that's
viral,
what-
dude. Because that's
Okay,
the
so
difference.
fast
Yeah,
forward
why
through the
can't
whole
you-
podcast to this
That'd be a
point.
great idea.
No.
But who does that benefit the most?
I don't know, but I'm going to ask PJ
No,
to
I'll
like
tell
pop
you-
this
I'll
little
tell you-
portion
no,
of
I'll
our
tell you
podcast out because
the middle
it's a
ground,
huge point.
The middle ground where the banks will make money is they got to find that sweet spot where they're going to charge for the transition fee. They're going to charge a transfer fee.
But you know
Okay.
what, Mario? You know where there's a big disconnect, and I'll tell you this:
Yeah.
in being a broker and looking at things from investors and working with people that have source capital that are wealthy people,
Yeah.
and they have money and they want to invest it, they want 8-10% return. They don't want 3%. 3% with the
You
rate
are
of
gonna get 8 to
inflation.
10.
If you go with the rate of inflation, no, you don't, because Raffi's not paying 8.
No,
He's paying
you get
2.7.
Okay, so no, you're going to get your 8 to 10 on that.
On the difference.
On the 6-7 on the difference. It's better to get it on the difference than not get it at all.
But the average will be about 4 to 5.
Yes.
I do agree
but-
with you on that.
But
and that the
it's better-
new money that will
yes.
be originated
so you
will
do
be
it
at the
in
right
volume,
number.
there'll be more people moving because everybody will do
6%,
it.
right? So new.
So you'd be
the
paying
new
6%
money
on
is
the
6%.
difference.
So if you have
So you'd be on
five-
the difference on the second.
Yes.
Yes. So technically, if the let's say I cashed in $500,000,
Right.
Yeah.
right? No, I need a $500,000 loan, right?
Yeah.
So the $500,000 loan would be 6%.
Right.
And you'd be okay with paying that because you
He's-
still got your original half at that number.
Exactly.
At
exactly.
2.75.
Yes.
That's
So
a
it
great
would-
solution.
Yes.
The average will be,
Yes.
like we said, we just again not throwing numbers, between 4 to 5% will be your average if you combine them all the loans together.
I'll tell you that whenever in 2008 when things started in 2008 in 2008 we dealt with short sales,
Yeah.
losing property,
Yeah.
people started not paying rent, everything went sideways,
Yeah.
right? Because the bubble had burst.
Right.
All right. So we dealt with going to banks and telling them, listen, these people can't afford this house. Why? Because they never could in the first place.
Right.
So they had investor capital, wealthy people that had invested money.
Yeah.
Hold on. And then these people can no longer were getting their monthly payments anymore because these people just said, forget it. I quit. This house is not worth as much as it was when I bought it. Right. It had tanked. And they were walking away. Or they would make some payment. So people would do a loan modification. Right. So they modified the document, which is what we're talking about. But that was due to distress because they were either going to not get any monthly payment. They were going to have to take back the asset, which was now worth half the amount that they lent on, right? Because they did an appraisal and they did all that. But where they really failed was in verifying the income from the borrower. Okay, so
that's the key.
that doesn't exist
That's the
today.
key. You're exactly
that doesn't
right.
exist today.
You
So
got to still have that
technically,
income.
that in 2008 they gave loans to McDonald workers.
Yes.
That's the problem. That was the biggest problem you had.
And that doesn't exist
If the
today.
guy's making $5 an hour and it was buying a $500,000 house, that just didn't make sense.
So the issue you have now, adding to Raffi's
Here
point,
is different though. Now they're verifying your income.
You have the income. They
You
just don't
have
wanna
the
move.
income.
They don't want to move.
Only reason all these people don't want to make any moves because they don't want to pay that 6-7%
They
of
don't want to lose
interest.
that interest rate.
But okay, so my question is, what forces their hand? Last month,
Divorce,
November.
probate.
Okay, in I want to
They'll
say
wait.
October. In this valley, there was almost. It was getting the 900 homes on the market, right? November, December dropped down to 600. What happened? Did those homes sell? It was a record amount of people that had pulled their homes off the market.
Oh, they pulled it off.
Yes.
Okay.
These people didn't go
'Cause they're
into
not selling,
they didn't
right?
go into default.
Right.
They could still afford to keep their house. So what's going to force those people? Because in 2008, what forced those people is that the bubble burst, and people weren't paying the investors, and these investors were like, "Okay, fine, we'll take something, anything, help me out. I know I let you borrow 500,000, but give me 3 at least, because they knew they weren't getting anything, and they weren't in the. Their job wasn't about taking back the house. People are in retirement homes, and they don't want to go back and try to fix this house that they just got dumped on, so they just liquidated it and they sold it off. So what's something that could force that hand without, because that's the world we live in. The investor is not going to take a hit unless they have to. If they're getting still 2.7 paid on this house, they don't care if you don't move. I mean, they do. They prefer to get a higher rate of return, right? But they, at the end of the day, they're not
Quantity. Let them do, instead of doing 1 or 2 at 10%, do 5 or 6.
Right.
Because I just talked to a friend of mine. He's by my house. He's also at 3%.
Okay.
He's gonna move. He's gonna rent the house for $45,000 to $5,000, and rent somewhere. Because he wants to buy, but he's like, I'm not.
But he's
gonna
gonna keep his loan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go rent
Smart.
something for $4,000, $4,500. So it'll kind of be almost even.
He's arbitraging it in a sense.
Yeah, and then he's gonna wait till the interest rate goes down till he buys a house. He makes great money, no problems there, but he's like, I'm not gonna pay X amount of money for interest. Why can't loan companies? Because I do hard money lending too, right? If I'm making a lot less on a hard money loan, I don't want to do it. You're
Right. You make 8 to 12, yeah.
But if I could divide it up by 5 or 6 of them, okay, cool. Yeah, my risk's a little higher because instead of 1 or 2, I have 5 or 6, but I'm making the same money.
Right. Yeah. You're spreading out the risk.
No, what I'm saying is
because
okay,
what you
so
can do the hard money.
I agree with that. I agree with that principle to spread out the risk.
You can make 10%. If you're first, you can make 10%, right?
Right.
But if I'm second, I can make 15%. Why not get that and just divide it up, chop it up, and make that 15% instead of making. I'm taking more risks, of course, right? Because I'm the second now.
Yeah.
Your risk level is going to go up. But
Well,
again,
second position is always higher risk because the first always gets paid
The
first.
question is, real quick, and by the way, we're going on 3 hours on this right now. One thing I don't like about your lights over here, it makes it look like it's daytime outside.
Right? I thought the
Yes,
same thing.
yes.
I'm
it's
going to go
7:30.
like,
Yeah, it's still
it's like a
daytime.
club.
Okay,
Keep
but
you awake,
we'll-
bro. It's
but
designed.
we do have to wrap this
Okay.
up, if you don't mind. But one thing, okay, so very, very important question in this hypothetical, which seems like a very, very good test model, is does a transferred loan take a first position, not a second position? That's important,
It
right?
has to.
It has to take a first position?
Yeah, because who's going to relinquish that?
You're right.
If you have to
You're
subordinate
exactly
to a first,
You're exactly right.
then why would
Yeah,
you do that?
you're
It's
exactly
one thing
right.
if you're already like allowing
As
somebody to
compared
come
to being
underneath.
refied or sold and get paid out.
Yeah,
You're
because
exactly
what
right.
happens is if the market tanks, you don't want to be the one holding the bag.
Okay,
at the,
all right.
At the
So
back.
then my follow-up question then, and maybe you guys already addressed it real quick, is that if you're taking a second, your interest rate is going to be higher than the market rate on it because you're in a second position.
To some extent, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have a very affordable.
Yeah, because
first
seconds
position.
are 8 to 9%.
Right,
and
but does it when you take a second position, do you assess the rate on what's the rate on the first? If the first is very affordable and they're transferring it because it was such a low rate, is it really that high of a risk? And therefore, can your rate on the second be lower because the risk isn't that high?
From an underwriting perspective, I would look at the income and how it's stretched.
right,
If it's like,
right.
I mean, 30, it's called debt to income, right? So if
No,
you
you're
like,
exactly right. It's
if you go
income, yeah.
30%, you go 45, you go 50, like FHA will go 55. So if you start pushing into those high debt to income and with a blended rate, like, right, or a blended loan, a combined loan, then if you start taking both of those expenses and start pushing it that high.
Well, what we're seeing is like, and Raffi's a candidate of it by this hypothetical, is that there's a huge marketplace out there, a huge consumer base that has the income, has the debt to income ratio that lenders like, but just won't move because they don't want to get rid of that
Well,
rate.
I think maybe
you gotta
that's
do the portable loans.
that's
you gotta do the transferable loans.
the way that you can start creating a market for it. Now, the appetite of the investor is really where it winds up being, because people are looking to make more money on their money, right? Because if people aren't originating new loans, that means that money's just sitting out there,
Right.
and it's collecting.
There is one alternative. And
S&P is 10%, right? Average.
What's that?
S&P 500. If you
If you
put your
return.
money in the stocks, you get 10% average of S&P 500. And if he's talking about, well, if the same guy wants to do it and gets 3 or 4%, why would I want to do that? I'll go straight to the S&P 500.
Well, and there is one alternative to this model that we're talking about. The other alternative, you and I have talked about this, is the seller, and again, it's more individual based. The seller dropping the price to the point where it seems like it's an effective rate reduction. So you would get rid of your 3% because you had a market adjustment on the property you're buying that, based on the payment that you're making at the percentage that you're getting, would equal that percentage.
You mean a seller would like help you out too?
Yes.
Well, they are already. They're helping out a lot. They do rate buy downs. They do. They pay for closing costs. The fees, because you have the down payment, plus you have closing costs, you have escrow title, all these different fees, right? So you have commissions. So if those get paid by the seller, which usually do wind up being, even in today's market with like the way that the market really recently changed, where the buyer broker agreement was different, still 95, I forgot what the percentage is of the amount of transactions that where the seller pays for the buyer's agent, is still part of the deal. But my point is that the seller will kick in, especially if they're going to have to, because there aren't any buyers out there. So if you put your house on the market, there aren't buyers. People are just pulling it off, which means they don't have to sell, right?
Right.
And that's the hard part. But what they want a bigger house. People are either dying, they're getting divorced, they're getting married, they're having kids, they don't fit in the house anymore.
But then isn't that the true market then? Isn't that a correction that we need? That people shouldn't just move just because to move, but because of more of a necessity? And also with selling?
Well, you're right.
You shouldn't be selling just because I want to make a shit ton of money on this sell, but it's selling because
because people want to sell, make shit ton of money on it, and go to a different state and live like kings.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's
or a different country.
Yeah,
but you know what? I'll be honest with you, man. I've ran into a lot of people that move to other states, and
they regret it and come back.
It's not that it's you look. California has its problems, man. That we know that, right? We drive by it every day.
Subject of another podcast. We gotta go.
All right, dude. Okay. So all right, let's wrap this up then. You guys, anything?
Raffi.
Huh? This is my buddy Raffi, my buddy Mario.
What's up?
Thanks for coming by,
Peace
guys.
out.
We had a great time.
Motorsports.
Yes,
obviously.
there you go.
Yes.
All right.
Tell us where it's at, Raffi.
It's in Castaic.
So leave that part out.
Why?
No, just
What's
kidding.
all the 31929 Castaic Road, baby. Let's do it.
I love it. All right, guys.
Great
Thanks
job.
again.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into the Opposites Unite podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to leave a comment for a chance to get a shout out in our next video. See you next time.